fucking idea. Chandler Val. Val? Val?
I would say Val. See, we need like a team manager. That's because that's big.
Facebook.
Facebook.
For, remember with your interact. I'm sorry, YouTube, dude.
Okay.
I haven't slept, by the way, so I'm just giving you.
Yeah, no, I got 3. I'm good.
We'll drop the live stream. Look at Bill, dude. He's using DuckDuckGo. I'm so proud of him.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. We're logged in.
Let me see your stingers roster. There's been some changes. That's it. That one's
Right? We'll finish about 7 minutes, 8 minutes before the hour. To Jason Ford, in play, don't run into the game. Sounds stupid, but there it is, alright? Service. I'm told you're allowed to go off the court to begin. Like you're going to trip over yours because no? Sure, that's just all there is.
Hey, how you doing, Natasha?
Okay, how you doing now? I just want to make sure, I'm going to go through the names, just make sure I've got your guys right, okay? So, Martin Petrus, Christian Encarnacion, Jesus Serrano, Oscar Puero, Rafael Burgos. Is that A or O? Burgos. Okay. Diego Bustos, Mario Mesa, Rosario Fernandez, Anthony Robinson, Danel Calvante.
Okay, by the way, I have tape to screen. I have tape to identify the corners. Tape to identify the distance down at the nut.
I'm not going to be able to squeeze in that tight.
What's that?
Oh, that's for the table.
No, it's just, because here's the thing, that camera's here. I don't want these to then be, there's a background. I don't want these to then be over there or here. They need to look the same each time. You're all right, yeah. So anyway, I've just labeled where everything goes. So if something moves, this is also gaffer tape down so they move it.
Sal. Jake Langlois. Leo Durkin. Rusty Levaya. Number Y. Phil Fuchs. F-O-O-K-S. Storm. Bahangata.
I probably won't say their last.
For what it's worth, the G sounds like Bahangata. Tafuga. Like it's like an N G. Gavin Carson Henninger. Alex Mello. Russian. Yep. Paul Carter. And then over here, this is where we're rolling our R's. Martin Petrus, John Incarcerado, Victor Serrano, Oscar Guerrero, Rafael Burgos, Diego Bustos, Mario Mesa, Lazaro Fernandez, Anthony Robinson, Manuel Caldente, Jose Morero, Kevin Martinez, Carlos Serrano, Brett Jair Santiago, Jair. That one actually, no, I know that guy. Demetrius Burrell, Ismael Alamar, Luca Benjamin, Zach Curry, Alejandro de la Rosa.
And everyone's wearing the numbers on their safety.
Yeah, Storm. You got a little adjustments over here. Yeah. Coming live without any feed in my ears whatsoever.
So I think we're just gonna have to go with the visual cues because I don't trust these guys because so usually I'd like tell the coach just a second, like they're getting ready so that they're like not anxious, but I'm not gonna do that because so I'll just be like
This is done run with an HDMI cable. Still. He needs a block, this needs an HDMI cable.
Well, I know that. This is the least, but you, okay, so you guys, your audio should be hot.
All right. Audio check. Maybe that's not a mic.
Let me find Nate, and then I'm going to dedicate Nate to making sure this is going.
you can hear something.
Oh, that's weird. There's an echo.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of tunnely.
Yeah, it's a little tunneling. And I'm really loud in my own ear. Yeah. I'm really loud in my own ear. Is that normal? Like, I hear myself super loud, and then random things out there are incredibly loud.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
I'm just super loud in my ears. Is there a way to turn me down a little bit?
Right here is ear control. It should be right here.
Oh, yeah, that's way better. Let's crank. Yeah, there we go.
Boom.
I don't want to hear myself. Okay, audio from that.
Only other thing I think after you get Olivia set up, it's really honestly put it as a last priority.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom one last.
Yes. But again, the last priority, getting Olivia and Nick set up is on. Okay. Perfect. What we need? Do you mind popping that guy out? I'm on it. I got it.
so?
Nick, sit down. No, you worked with Roy.
Check 1, 2, 3. Mic is bueno.
I brought the tournament to American Super Center. Yeah. I know, you do too many things. No. Ask him if Cam 6 looks all right.
Does Cam 6 look all right?
Let me just reposition.
We just moved it out here, so we just want to check. No word, Howard. Attaboy, Russ. Wow, that feedback is hot. Hello, hello. Check 1, 2, 3. That's gonna blow my ears out. Okay, one. I've still not heard anyone talk in my ear, so I don't know what that's gonna sound like. Sorta. Bueno, bueno. Hello, hello. Every now and then, if I talk loud, this thing just booms my ears out.
What's that?
I've just got to talk. Like, I feel like I'm not talking loud, and this thing is just gonna, like, if I talk loud like this, I get like spikes of feedback. I don't know if it's gonna hear like that for the.
It won't be. They get controlled in here. This is just for you, but you can pull. There's just two things, right? You have A and then B.
Right.
They don't correlate to.
Okay. Cool. Because I really, man, that is rough when I hear that speed. That.
You should be able to change your.
I'm trying to turn me down, but it just booms. Like every now and then when I hit a certain note, it just hits me with hot feedback. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well.
What we need to do though is we need to A, close this, and then B. So we'll get feedback.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna try to log on and send.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Hey.
Here, let me just do it right now.
What's that? Because I want to make sure this works. Hey, what's that?
I don't have enough service. Oh, there we go.
Loudspeaker, right? No loudspeaker, right? Correct? Nate?
What's that?
I'm just making sure we're not doing anything.
All right, there you are, Howard.
Correct.
Okay, just
Nothing.
Okay. So the slides are just for the TV.
Are you able to hear anything?
No, I've not heard anything said in my ear.
I guess the only way to do it, Nick, is just.
No, you're fine. That was fine. I don't. Yeah.
I can hear Nick.
Okay.
I don't know if I don't know how to.
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's real quiet. I need it a little bit louder.
What's that?
I just need you to tell me how to turn it on and off so I can talk to the.
Hang on.
So honestly, all
okay.
we need to do is just mute it.
So I hear
We're
Nate
just
loud
gonna
and
leave
clear on
that
that mic.
So just leave it like
Yep,
that.
just mute it. Just leave it like this. So
Nate.
then if the battery levels get low to like 1 or 2, let us know.
So it's always going to be hot.
Yep, it always, no, it's not hot because it's muted right now. See the
I
mute?
can hear it.
Yeah, I
It's
can hear you a
'cause-
little
it's
bit.
'cause
I
I'm
can hear you.
it's
I can
'cause-
hear the booth a little bit louder. I need you a bit more. Yeah, that's nice. What? I need 30 seconds.
So I can talk to the truck.
Yeah.
Can you hear me in the truck?
We'll have to go out to the truck.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I can.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
can hear Olivia now.
Oh, so that would mean that it's on.
Yeah, so that's on. You know what? I'll get another setup for you to talk.
All right. Can I check truck? Okay, I need to go a bit louder. How do I turn truck up?
Say that again.
I need to go louder with the truck. How do I? Q. Okay. Okay. Little quiet, whoever that is. Jed, pleasure. Doug, all right. You got Doug and Jed, all right.
Okay. Can you hear? Do we have anybody on this side?
Nope.
No, not right now.
Just me.
Ready to go live, Dave, whatever.
So, if it ends up getting there, if between games or whatever, you can do it. I'll hit you, but we're going. We're this is high level volleyball coming to everyone live. They're gonna love it. We're gonna have a good time. Yep. Yep. No, I don't have a choice. They can hear me that live. Want me to start? Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and get it going here. All right, you guys ready? All right, you got it. All right, sounds good. Are we going to go to camera 6 or are we just going live? All right, everybody, welcome to the NVA Showcase 2020. We are coming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. We are here at the Utah Athletic Center. Got a beautiful arena set up, and we're going to be going ahead and getting you a full weekend over the next 4 days full of action-packed volleyball from the 8 teams from the NVA. Want to say a huge shout out to our ball sponsor, Mikasa. Thanks for high quality stuff. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of fast action with those balls this weekend. First match of the day is going to be from the American League. It's going to be the Utah Stingers going live against the Ontario Matadors. That's Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada. We'll be getting the starting lineups here shortly. But what you can really expect to see from this match is a lot of explosive play from the Matadors. They're a really young, physical roster. The Stingers bring a wealth of experience. Most of these guys played at BYU, so they know the same system. They're going to be playing the same level ball, wide range of age, but they've got guys that have been seeing the national team, Olympic-level players. So this is going to be a really, really experienced crew playing against a group of young bloods with a very physical play style. We're checking lineups right now on the Utah Stingers. We've got outside hitter Storm Fatungata Tafunga. We've got libero is going to be Chandler Bao. Outside hitter Phil Fuchs. Middle is going to be Alex Shmelov, as well as the setter is going to be Leo Durkin, and your opposite is going to be George Mencia. On the side of the Matadors, we've got middle blocker Martin Petrus. We've got opposite hitter Jacob Vanderbeek. Libero is going to be number 11, Jose Molero. You've got outside hitter number 2, Christian Encasaron. Number 12 is your setter, Kevin Rodriguez. And your last outside hitter looks like number 4, Oscar Tuero. Service comes in, pass from Storm, goes to the middle, Shmelov tips, rejected, and ball does not come back over. That's a stop for number 1 on the Ontario Matadors, Martin Petrus. Point goes to Ontario Matadors. Setter Kevin Rodriguez back row once again looking for the serve here. Toss looks good, chops across court once again to Storm, looking to bring Utah out of system, but a tip over the top puts Ontario out of system. Quick poke and a tip over the net from Stingers is not able to be handled by outside hitter number 4, Oscar Tuero, and that's a kill for the Stingers. Setter Leo Durkin is now back to serve for the Utah Stingers. Looking for a float serve. Goes cross court. Set goes to the back row, and there's a tip short that is unable to be picked up. Ooh, looks like a back row attack from number 2 for the Matadors. That's Christian Encarnacion. That's going to put Leo Durkin, the setter for the Stingers, on the back line once again. Float goes to the same target, cross court, and a quick middle run that's stopped by Alex Shmelov in the middle. High set goes back on the outside. That's a terminal block. Utah Stingers, number 9 with the stop. George Mencia sealed net low and gets the block. Leo Durkin's putting together a really great run right now to start this match off. Float, once again, he's found his target. Quick set, one-handed set to the middle, Ontario Matadors. That is a great set coming together, finding his middle, number 1, Martin Petrus. Able to put a stop to the run there from the Stingers. Oscar Tuero is now heading to the back line. Looks like a jump serve coming in. That's going to be a foot, out of rotation from the Utah Stingers. That's going to be a free point going over to the Ontario Matadors. Unfortunate way to start the match off here. Got a little discussion here trying to figure out exactly who should be where. They're going to go ahead and get this checked out. There's a discussion about the middle being in the wrong spot in the rotation, but while they work on that, We're going to be seeing a lot of aggressive serving, mostly jump serves, I think, from the side of the Matadors. So it's going to be interesting to see where they're focusing those serves. Right now, it's looking like so far they've been focusing. I'm not sure if it's that they're going after number 1 Storm or if they're going after a cross-court serve. So it'll be interesting to see as this develops. Easy serve to the libero on Chandler Bao. Tip jam, and that looks like a net. Yeah, but it's a net called against the Matadors. They're looking for the call, but the call is in fact on them. So that's a point for the Stingers. Middle blocker Alex Shmelev back to serve, which is going to bring the next middle blocker, number 17, Corey Metcalf, in for the Stingers. Big jump serve. Goes long. Sometimes you got to let those middles swing and find their rhythm, but that's going to bring Chandler Bao, libero for the Stingers, back onto the court here. Number 1 back to serve. That's a middle blocker for the Matadors, Martin Petrus. He's going after a jump serve himself. Looks like a foot fault, but no call here. Quick set back, and that's a big swing. That's got a touch. High ball up for the Stingers. They're going for a repeat set. Tip that's jammed off the head of number 2. Swinging on the overpass. That's a kill for number 6, Phil Fuchs. Big swing for him. Way to put that point away. Right now, the sets are looking a little bit tight for the Stingers, but their pin hitters are doing a really solid job of finding good tips that are going through the block and finding ways to score. Phil Fuchs on the back line right now for the Stingers with a big jump serve toss. Finds it down the line. It's a good pass by the Matadors. Swing in. Big swing for number 17 out of the middle, Ismail Alomar. That's a great kill, finding a deep corner. That is a very hard ball to defend against and finding a lot of success. Right now we've got number 18, Jacob Vanderbeek, the opposite or right side hitter for the Ontario Matadors on the back line. Once again, going for that jump serve. Looks good, but that is just long. Now the opposite going back for the Utah Stingers, George Mencia, number 9. That's going to put the setter front row, so we'll be looking for a dump potentially out of the Stingers. Quick set to the outside. That's a big swing by number 2 with a big dig by the libero, and returned by a big attempt from Phil Fuchs that is shut down. You know, that offense didn't quite work out for the Stingers. So that's a great looking dig from Chandler Bao, their libero. Also, big swing from number 2, Christian Encarnacion. Float serve goes short. Looks to take Storm out of her serve receive. Big swing on the backside. D-ball is sent long. No touch call. I did not see one myself. Nope. So that's going to be a point for the Matadors. Christian's on the back line once again, looking for that float serve. It looked like he was going short to try and take the front row outside of the hitting rotation here. Yep, he's going with that same serve, well handled by Storm. Quick pin set to the outside, touch on the block. Good help, the ball goes out. Number 1, Storm Fa'angata Tafunga is the receiver of a lot of serves right now for the Utah Stingers. He's getting targeted, it looks like, by the Matadors. Overpass comes with a good float serve down the line. Quick set to the outside, handled with a tip. The set goes back to the outside for the Matadors with a great swing down the line. Oscar Tuero, number 4 for the Matadors. These outside hitters are doing a lot of work on the side of the Matadors. The middles are keeping the blockers honest, and those the outsides are really working a lot of shots. They're going between the line and the angle. It's a really good look for this team. Number 17 on the back line, Ismail Alomar, the middle blocker. Overpass, defended by the setter. D-ball put in, nope. Oh, big swing off the head of middle blocker number 1. Free ball coming over. That looks like 4 contacts, if I'm not mistaken, but that's going to be sent long by the Matadors, so that's going to go point Stingers. Matadors are getting a lot of touches right now on blocks that they're not quite able to convert with a little bit of defense, but this team, I think they're going to get that dialed in, so that's going to be interesting to see how that transitions for them. Storm on the back line with a float serve. D-ball gets set back. That's a big swing into the corner for Jordan Vanderbeek, or Jacob Vanderbeek, apologies. that is a great swing, finding that line swing on the D ball. It's a really hard ball to defend. It crosses the defenders at their shoulders typically, so it's really hard to get a good touch on the back row. We've now got number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, the setter for the Matadors on the back line. The ref calls a replay. There was a ball that was rolling by the server. Second attempt here. Toss goes up, good serve. Once again, going to Storm. They're really targeting him. Big swing deep into the corner, but that's long. It looks like there's a net. Yep, refs get the net here. There's been a lot of questionable net play here, and so that's a big call. But swing went long. The Matadors are showing to be very disciplined servers. They are really going after number 1, trying to break him down. I don't know if they've got a good scout on Storm, but he's handling it seemingly quite well. Big set to the outside. Once again, the Matadors are finding themselves unstoppable on the outside. Jacob Vanderbeek, the opposite, in the one rotation he swings at that outside ball, finding a lot of success. Number 4, Tuero on the back line, serving. Big serve. Wow, handled well by Phil Fuchs. That looks like that's over. Yep, Vanderbeek makes contact with the setter, so he actually didn't touch the ball there, but he actually grabbed the setter, so that's going to get called for over. So that's going to go point for the Stingers. That was a big pass by Chandler Bow, the libero for the Stingers. He's handling a lot of these big swings and big serves really well today, so this is going to be exciting as this match unfolds to see how he handles this. Big serve from Shmelev coming from the back line. He finds this one in. Quick set to the outside, high ball. Reset by the Matadors. They've covered their own guy, and they're going right back to him. Another great block touch by the Stingers. Finds a backside set, and the opposite swing is covered. Stingers are setting a high ball out of system. They want to go to their outside hitter. Big cover ball. Wow, huge block by the Matadors. There was a lot of great block touches there. Unfortunately, the Stingers were unable to find their cover ball in the deep part of the court. But number 18, that is Jacob Vanderbeek, setting that block really well on the right side over there for the Matadors. A lot of good touches there on both sides. Stingers got 2 touches. Another ball rolling on the court there. I'm getting a little used to the 4-ball system going on over here. But we got Martin Petrus, that's the middle blocker for the Matadors, on the back line. Stingers haven't found a ton of success with big swings. They're really battling for their points right now. So it'll be interesting to see if they're handling their serve receive very well. Quick set to the backside, but they're tipping once again, and that looks like that's going to be an undercall by Phil Fuchs going under the net there. Set's a little too tight. A lot of these sets to the pin are going really tight, forcing their guys to try and be aggressive, finding balls that they're able to keep live through tips. So the passing looks pretty good, just kind of finding if they can transition to that in an offense. Matadors with another jump serve. High ball to the backside. We're going with a roll shot that is unable to be picked up by the Matadors. Didn't see him drop his elbow, and he's going that roll shot to the front left. That's a way to find a transition point there for Phil Fuchs, but he's still working for his points. Matadors are definitely looking like they've got a little bit more connection with their pins right now. We've got back row hands on both sides, so we've got 3 hitters front row. Jump serve coming in for Phil Fuchs. Handled as an overpass. Wow, that's a great serve from Phil. Be able to transition from that right side point going to the back line, still finding success is definitely going to be an important part. That's going to be a kill for Corey Metcalf, number 17, the middle blocker for Stingers. Another jump serve coming in. Phil goes a roll down the line, handled well, goes to the middle. That's a big swing. Wow, you love to see that. Ismail Alomar, there's good passing from the Matadors, and they're finding a way to get their middles involved early. Now, a really important thing, it's always easy to go for the glory and try to swing for that 10-foot line, but these middles are swinging deep in the court, and the more you attack that deep seam, you're really going to see your percentage numbers climb rapidly. Big jump serve from the opposite. Handled well by Chandler. Big swing by Storm, but there's some great defense on the side of the Matadors off blocker. Tool to off the block, number 2, Christian Encarnacion. Man, he is on fire right now. The pin hitters are absolutely putting in work for the Matadors. Stingers are not finding a way to get meaningful touches that they're able to transition into defense and in turn turn into their offense. Jacob Vanderbeek once again on the back line. He is ripping great serves back there for them. A back row attempt that's tipped over by the Stingers, covered, set by the libero. Goes to the outside, high swing, and Stingers are barely able to keep that ball alive, and they're just giving a free ball back to the Matadors. Not handled well by the middle on the return, and that's a D ball rolled. Phil Fuchs keeps the ball alive. Set goes to the outside, and Storm with a swing that he is unable to find hands. That is sent long. That is a great, great system swing by the Matadors, going to the outside off the set from their libero, number 11, Jose Molero. Vanderbeek once again on the back line. Takes a little bit off at this time, but he's able to keep it live. And right now, ooh, big swing down the line. That's Storm saying hello to Jacob down the line and saying thanks for those tough serves, but we're done with this rotation. Hits him in the side of the face. Number 9, George Mencia, the opposite for the Stingers on the back line right now. Short float, handled well by Matadors. Dump from the setter, number 12, Kevin Rodriguez. He's able to find a way to get involved and score some points. He says, this is not just for the outsides. If I can dish it to them, I can take it one for myself. Number 2, Christian Encarnacion on the back line. He's got a float serve coming. Once again, cross-court Storm. Handled well, D-ball coming backside. That's a great swing, goes high hands. Number 9, George Mencia going one-on-one against Oscar Tuero, and he's able to find a high hand swing that is undiggable out the back of the court. Storm is now on the back line. A little late sub trying to find the right guys on defense there with the libero. Wow, that's a big triple block from the Stingers. They're able to put some of that together, and the Matadors are struggling to get through that one. Oscar Tuero is shut down there as Stingers get that triple block straight down and coverable. We've got front row hands right now for both teams, so once again, we're looking at those dumps, making sure that people are staying honest. That's a great hybrid serve out of Storm. Goes to the outside. That looks like a net once again, but nothing called. The ref sees it different than I do. Another triple block. Now they're starting to find a way to slow down that ball. But once again, Phil Fuchs is he's getting that set that he's not able to take a swing, but he is absolutely wheeling and dealing right now for the Stingers. He is finding ways to score. We're looking at a timeout coming in from the Matadors. Wow. This looks vastly different on both sides, the way that they are looking to play this game. Matadors is hitting a lot of aggressive jump serves. They are really targeting number 1, Storm, on the side of the Stingers, while the Stingers are struggling a little bit to find the natural flow of their offense, but there's a lot of experience on that side, and right now those guys are absolutely finding ways to still score. A lot of pressure that's being handled very well by Zero, Chandler Bow, on the side of the Stingers. Their libero, he is absolutely anchoring this team, finding a good serve receive and finding some good out-of-system sets to his outside right now. So that's definitely something we want to keep an eye on as that team kind of tries to find their flow right now. Matadors are definitely looking like they're the aggressors. So as they're able to find a couple more cover balls, a little bit more defensive scrappiness, they're going to be a threat to be handled here for sure. Number 1, Storm on the back line. Once again, Stinger is getting called out of rotation. You know, when you're getting calls like that twice in one game, that really kind of speaks to the same kind of discontinuity that we're seeing from this team. When they're struggling to kind of get on the same page, it's just kind of, you can see a little bit of that desync across the board. But once again, these guys have a lot of veterans. They're going to figure this out. And while you generally don't see that at a higher level volleyball, we're going to see them smooth this out, I'm pretty sure. Now that's going to put number 17 for the Ontario Matadors on the back line, Ismail Alamar. He's so far been hitting some pretty big jump serves, this middle blocker for these guys. Once again, that one's going long. So that's going to bring the libero back in, number 11, Jose Molero. And Storm is on the back line. Once again, this time hopefully not out of rotation for the Stingers. but Ontario Matadors are asking the same question I am. But a great pass from Malero. Beek goes back, and that is that ball finds the corner. Ref overrules. The head judge overrules his lineman, calls out. But Matadors disagree with that call. But once again, that's a really close swing. We are seeing the outsides for the Matadors absolutely put in work and showing that they are a threat to be handled. Matadors coach Michael Bastida is having a little conversation with the down judge, trying to figure out exactly where they're at. And the coach, it looks like number 2, the captain, Christian Encarnacion, is over there chatting with the up ref. Just going to let this unfold, and we got Storm still back on the back line for the Stingers. Little disagreement here. Not exactly sure what's going on, but we'll get this all smoothed out. We'll be good to go here in a minute. Right now, what I'm really looking at and wanting to pay attention to is Alex Schmelev, number 24. He's got a lot of international experience. He played a middle blocker at Grand Canyon University, and so we're going to be looking for the middle blockers for the Stingers to be making big moves to the outside to help slow down the pins right now for the Matadors. Beek has been putting in some points that they've got to respect on the right side as well as the D-ball, as well as on the service line. But right now, what I'm really worried about if I'm the Stingers, I have got to stop the outside hitters from the Matadors. They are hammering balls from the back line. They're finding big attacks, and they're finding in-system and out-of-system swings. That means if they're getting a good pass, they're finding a quick set to the outside, they're successful. If they didn't get a great pass or they're playing some defense and there's a high ball set to the outside, they are still finding success. This Matador team is really finding success because they swing deep. As explosive as their players are, they're not looking to be overly aggressive trying to bounce a ball. Every guy out there is, of course, capable of doing so, but a lot of deep swings is a good thing to see from a team like that. Little hybrid once again coming from Storm. Set goes to the outside, number 4. Yep, we've got a touch on the block there as he goes down the line. Oscar Tuero once again finding success, and the setter for the Stingers is unable to handle that ball. Leo Durkin not quite finding it there. Number 12 with the jump serve for the Matadors. He goes deep, goes to Storm. Storm handles that ball beautifully, but there's a great set. Number 24, Alex Schmelev, pulls the middle blocker from the Matadors, and he opens up Phil Fuchs on the outside for one of the first big swings we've seen from Phil, going a one-on-one against the right side from the Matadors. That's a big swing and definitely an important point for the Stingers. Now we've got the setter, number 4, Durkin, on the back line for the Stingers. Looking for a toss float serve. Another Beek that's tipped, diving up, and that's a rough ball to hit as an outside, but Alex Schmelev throws the overpass out of bounds. Stingers just not quite able to handle that. There's a bump set coming in from Chandler Bow, the libero, and he's not able to put that in front of his outside hitter, so it's a little bit of a free ball coming back. And Matadors are able to find a way to get that point. Alex Schmelev, unfortunately, had an overpass coming to him, and he tips wide out of bounds. Tuero, number 4, on the back line. Bow handles pretty well, goes to the outside, and once again, that is a huge block coming in from the Matadors. Return to sender. Definitely impressed right now by Jacob Beek. He's setting a great block for his middles to get out there. Martin Petrus is closing quite well, and when you're seeing block touches like that, that is a tough mental state to be in for the Stingers. Ball goes long. Can't see this. I can't see it. Right now we have the score of 20-20. So this is a very different looking match from both sides. However, they are both absolutely finding their own ways to score. Schmelev from the back line. That's a huge jump serve, handled well by Tuero. Goes to the outside, number 2. Once again, the Matadors outsides are taking over this match and have yet to see any answer from the side of the Stingers. Number 2, Christian Encarnacion. Absolutely impressed by these guys' physicality on the outside. And right now, if you're that setter on the Matadors, I don't see any reason to change your game plan either. Float serve comes in from the middle. Goes to Storm once again. and the backside set. Phil Fuchs has been the one going with the answers for the Stingers. Ball goes outside from Matadors once again, covered on the off-block tip. Set goes back to the outside. Once again, Jacob Vanderbeek, I think that's his third block of the match. He is absolutely setting a perfect block. Now what you're looking for is the right side. How far your middle blocker goes on that block is predicated on how far you go to the outside. So he's doing a great job of identifying where that set is going to be going, getting set early, getting his hands over the net so that his middles can make that move and close out. We have seen 4 or 5 terminal blocks as well as a lot of forced tips. And right now on the net, the overall aggression level is definitely being won by the Matadors. There is a lot of aggression that we're seeing coming from them offensively on the outside. Again, Stingers are just scrappy players. They've got a lot of experience, so we're seeing them be able to handle that quite well. But this is definitely a difference of two worlds and a different way to play the game. But definitely a great way to see the Matadors come out banging. And I think the Stingers are going to continue to pick that up, and that's what's scary. I think it's 22-20 right now in favor of the Matadors. Stingers still hanging with them, and there is obvious disconnects on that team. They are going to be able to figure this out, and this team is going to be one to be threatening. Number 1 going to the back line, Martin Petrus, middle blocker for the Matadors here. He's been going to a float serve quite a bit. He goes to it once again, going short. Handled well by the libero. There's a middle attack. That is a dig back row by the setter, but that's a tight set. Return to sender. Vanderbeek gets stopped. And there it goes, George Mencia with a terminal block of his own. We're seeing the opposites getting at each other right there. Yeah, Miles, I see you in the stream. We'll work on getting the score. I personally can't see it myself either at the moment, so we're working on that, and we're going to be getting you some live updates, and I'll be able to keep you guys a little bit more informed there. That's a bump set from the libero. Big swing and a big block. That is one of the first stops from Christian Encarnacion that we're seeing. George Mencia finding a way to get set and getting Carson Hinninger, the middle blocker, involved there. Sorry, that is, we're looking at Corey Metcalf, little interesting angle, number 17. All right, Phil Fuchs on the back line. Jump serve, chops down the line. Set, quick set to the middle, lip, oh. They're calling a double on the first contact there. Storm trying to pull the ball out of the net. We've got a substitution coming in right now. This is going to be a blocking sub. So we've got number 15, Jair Santiago, coming in for the setter there. And then we've got number 18, Jacob Vanderbeek, coming out of the match with the new setter, Jesus Serrano, coming in. This is going to be a substitution to get a front row blocker with Jair Santiago. He's a big guy, looking at about 6'8", with the new setter coming in. So a late game substitution, looking for a little matchup. And right there is a tip. Storm finds a way, though. You got to still be able to play that quick defense behind the big block, and they weren't quite able to find it. That's a heads-up play there from Storm. Number 9 on the back line. We've got George Mencia. Big dig from Phil Fuchs. That's going to be a set, trying to find something there from number 0. Ball is kept live, and now we've got a quick set coming to the backside. And once again, Christian Encarnacion, he finds himself to be unstoppable. Off the top of my head, I think that's about 6 kills for him right now. Doesn't matter if he's on the left, the right, or in the back row. Christian is finding himself absolutely unstoppable. Little conversation. Once again, Stingers looking like they might be out of rotation, but Matadors are calling for the out of rotation, but there's a big swing, barely staying legal. That ball goes long, unable to be picked up by the Matadors, who are unhappy, looking like there's an out of rotation call that they're looking for, but either way, no call is made, and that puts Metcalf on the back line. We've got Schmella finding himself back in rotation. Serve down the line, good pass, goes to the outside once again. Tuero with the swing, Phil Fuchs with the dig. Outside goes to Storm. Number 1, Storm finds himself able to get a kill. There's been a lot of tight net calls here from the Matadors, as aggressive as they're looking to block. Unable to get a stop. And we've got a timeout called on the side of the Matadors. Can I get a score check? What's the score? 24 all. 24-25 Matadors. Stingers. if we're able to get me visibility anyway on score, that would be great. But for now, we've got 25-24 Stingers. No, I don't have a way of seeing the score. So, but the Stingers, they're finding a way to battle right now. And Phil Fuchs is really keeping this team in it. He's finding himself with success on the service line, as well as finding a lot of digs there. The Matadors are not quite playing the defense they need to keep some of these rallies alive. So when the Stingers are finding these tips and tight balls, they are not quite able to extend the rally in the same way they'd like. Of course, their offense is definitely showing that it's capable of scoring, but if you're not able to play both offense and defense, they're going to be having a little bit of trouble. It's a jump serve by Metcalf on the back line, going to the back side of the quick swing, but that's dug by number 9, Mencia. Quick set to the outside, looks like a double call gets made on Leo Durkin there, unable to convert, but that's a great dig. You know, that's kind of what we're talking about there, is number 9 is able to find some extended rallies, and we've got 25 all now coming in. That's a great defended point there from the Matadors. Number 17 finds himself on the back line, Ismail Alamar. Big jump serve once again. He served long last time. Once again, looks like he's going long, but he's able to find the handler, Chandler Bow, and break those hands. That's, you can see number 9 there, George Mencia, looks like he wants to call out, but a little miscommunication. But Ismail, once again, going back, forcing the Stingers to make that decision, so good on him. Toss once again for the jump. This is a really on-point serve. Great, handled very well. Deep swing into the corner by Shmelov. He goes with about a 60% swing there, avoids the block, but finds that back line perfectly. That's a really, really tough ball for the defense of the Matadors to find. That's going to put Storm on the back line right now, serving. He looks for that hybrid once again. He's serving that ball very well this morning. Big swing, though, coming in. That's a big swing once again. Can't say his name enough. Today it seems Christian Encarnacion finding a swing into the corner. Looks like we're making that double sub. That's reversing, bringing the original setter and opposite Jacob Vanderbeek and number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, back into the match for the Matadors. They are trying to keep setters front row setters back row right now. They want the biggest block they can get. So far, Vanderbeek has been an unstoppable blocker. Cross court to number 1, Storm, handled well. Great swing from number 9, George Mencia. In the second half of this match, Mencia is really finding a way to get involved. He's gotten a couple great blocks. He's found 2 D balls as his kills. He's gotten some digs. He is extending the rally right now. And we have game point once again on the side of the Stingers, 27-26. Awesome, glad to see the score was working for you guys. Good serve, handled well. Oh, that's a big dig from Chandler in the back row. A little miscommunication on who they've got. This is going to be a high ball set for Vanderbeek, looking to keep that swing alive. Matadors chip it in. Storm gets a dig. Quick set into the middle. Alex Schmello keeps alive with a tip. Dug by Matadors. Quick backside pick. Set. Dug. And Matadors have to free ball that ball over. Chandler's not quite able to handle that the way you want. Storm throws a big tip. That's tight. Matadors unable to find a good block. And there's a free ball once again. Looking for that's an under call. That's the Matadors losing on an under because the libero is unable to keep control there. Jose Malero unfortunately going under. Looks like I was a little mistaken on the score there. That last point, that is my apologies. Another serve from number 4, the setter. It's very aggressive. Quick set to the backside. Stingers are able to get a nice block touch, but quick set, one-handed, kept alive, and once again going to the backside, but there is no touch on that block. That ball goes long. And finally, Christian Encarnacion is slowed down for the first time this match. That is a great win for Stingers, winning that game 1, taking that into extra points, giving us a bit of a nail biter for the morning. So we're going to go ahead and going into game 2. What I really want to see the Matadors do is control the tips a bit more. They're not being very disciplined when they're getting tips thrown into their block. So they're getting balls coming over the top that they're not covering, and they're getting balls thrown off that are going wide on the block that they're unable to find a second touch on defense. Stingers really have to find their system right now. Out of system, their high ball sets are going really tight, forcing Phil Fuchs to really wheel and deal. Storm is doing the same. But right now we're seeing a late game resurgence from the right side, George Mencia for them. But kind of little shining moments for a lot of these different Stingers players. Alex Schmella is anchoring that team as well, getting a couple block touches that's able to slow them down. And he's found a couple kills swinging deep into the corner. Definitely a big thing when a middle's able to contribute 3 kills like that in a game. Chandler Bow started off pretty hot, but he's been unable to control a couple of these chaos balls that are coming in. That's what you really want to be able to rely on your libero to anchor and control what's going on right there. All right, so definitely going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. And very, very excited to see these two teams. I train out in Southern California with the Ramblers, and so I get a chance to see what the Matadors look like a lot of the time. And I've played alongside a lot of these Stingers players. So it's really a battle of brain versus brawn here. You've got a lot of veterans over on the Stingers, and there's a lot of young guys that, as you guys can see live, these guys are on the outside are absolutely flying, and they are hitting high balls, high point of contact deep into the court. And that's one of the things that you really want to see in high-level volleyball. When you're a younger guy, 18, you first really start getting into it, you're able to bounce the ball, and maybe the blocker's not there to stop you. At the high level, though, you cannot rely on that kind of a block fault that's going to let you swing straight down like that. So the more you're able to swing into the deep parts of the court, you're going to find a lot more success. And right now, Matadors pins are absolutely on fire with that. They're serving very well, but a lot of times when you see a team that's hitting a lot of jump serves, passers that are able to get that dialed in, move their feet early, they're going to be able to control that on the back line and really find a good system. Where I'm seeing the Stingers not quite deliver is they're not able to connect with Leo Durkin is having a trouble finding his setters or his hitters right now. But I think he's going to be able to iron that out. Again, something really interesting about BYU when I found when I was playing with these guys is they run a little bit of a different system than traditional men's programs. And so right now, all these guys have played throughout a decade or so of different BYU teams, but they all know the same system. So they're going to dial it in, find each other, and I have no doubt that this team is going to start scoring. Now, something that we're doing because of COVID, we are doing our best here to be mindful. All of the players have been wearing masks religiously. All of our support staff, our refs, everyone's being very mindful. Coaches are wearing masks. We are actually not switching sides in order to keep the benches and everything clean. Everything is being wiped down between matches. So that's one of the many steps that are being taken here by the NBA to make sure that we're delivering a safe environment for the players. Perfect. Oh, that looks great. And as the day goes, this is our first time on camera as a group, so we're just kind of getting used to it. Lots of little things getting provided all at the same time. Throughout this tournament, we're going to have some more play-by-play guys, so it's going to not quite be me. I'll be giving you that little color commentary so you can hear a little bit more about all these teams. But for now, it's just me out here, so you'll be able to look forward to a couple guys joining me on the desk. And as this event goes on, we've got Olivia Phelps that's going to be doing some sideline reporting, talking to coaches, talking to players, and giving you guys an inside look at what it really looks like to be on the inside of the NBA. We're excited to see how that unfolds. Teams are now getting lined up. It looks like no substitutions. Teams are going with the same lineup. Actually, one adjustment here we're seeing for the Matadors is number 20, Zach Perry, is an outside hitter coming in. So they're looking like they've made a switch with Oscar Tuero. So obviously Christian Encarnacion has been unstoppable, but maybe they're looking for something a little different. I don't know if it's the defense that they're looking for. I thought Oscar Tuero was looking pretty good, so we'll see what they're looking for in a different thing here. But the serve is received well. Quick attack from the middle. Matadors establishing their middle early. Love to see a pass like that and going to number 1, Martin Patrice. And that is a good swing deep into the corner that Storm is unable to dig. We've now got number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, on the back line. Setter once again back there. Quick jump. Once again, they're going cross court. Phil Fuchs handles well with a high ball that That's a little bit of a better set. There's the tip, triple block coming in from Matadors. Set going to the back row from the libero. Quick tip. Ball goes down. Number 4, Leo Durkin makes a great diving move. Not quite able to bring that up. That is a very heads-up play from number 2, Christian Encarnacion, to find that tip. It's a good set from Jose Malero, the libero on the Matadors. He knows exactly where he wants that ball to go. If game 1 wasn't any indication, I don't know what is. Number 12 setter is still on the back line. That's Rodriguez. Goes for a short chop on the jump serve. Great look. Once again, having to see a tip from the Stingers. And again, number 2 swinging from the back row. Stingers go to their backside. Phil Fuchs able to find a line swing. Wow, that is a great swing. Phil Fuchs, known to sleep on, definitely finding his way through that. Matadors libero number 11 is not quite able to handle that. That's going to put Fuchs on the back line here, which also we are seeing Vanderbeek for the Matadors coming back front row, and got to keep an eye on him. There's a big block out there that Stingers have yet to quite get through effectively. Fuchs with a big serve, but that goes long. Number 20, Zach Perry, finds himself in the back line for the first time in the Matadors. So once again, this team has been all jump serve, so I assume that's what's coming up. There it is. Cross court, Phil Fuchs. Big swing, Storm with a heavy arm. What you can really rely on experienced hitters, especially the shorter ones like Storm, they're looking for that high point of contact. So when they're hitting, they're wanting to use that blocker and just send the ball high off his hands in a way that you are not able to dig it in the back of the court. Very heads-up play, high IQ swing right there. Love to see it. Ball handled well by the Matadors. Big swing from the middle, but that's dug by the setter here on Utah. Big swing to the outside. Ball hits the ceiling. The Matadors are able to dig it off the ceiling. And Alex Shmelov, one-on-one, says not this time. Gets a big stop for the Stingers. Love seeing Shmelov get stops like that. Not quite the swing you want to see out of Zach Perry on the Matadors here. Once again, we got Metcalf, the middle for the Stingers on the back line. Ball handled well by the Matadors. Backside, Vanderbeek goes with a tip. He did a really good job of hiding the tip there. He goes with a full swing, stops, and finds an off-speed tip that forces Shmelov's inside right hand to make a move, and he just was not able to make it. So that ball is able to go down for a kill. That's going to put number 1, Martin Patrice, on the back line. Jump serve. Deep, long. All right. So right now, what I'm seeing the Matadors are really doing on the scouting report is they're wanting to go cross court. Now, when you see jump servers going cross court, that's making the setter look over his left shoulder. And if he's back row, it's really tough because the serve's coming from the same spot that he's coming from. That's a float serve for the opposite from the Stingers. Big swing from Vanderbeek, showing it's his time to shine on the backside. That's a big swing down the line and a big kill for the Matadors. We got 5-4 Matadors. They take an early lead here. Vanderbeek is now on the back line. George Mencia as well. So we got front row setters on both sides. Got to watch for those dumps coming on over. Jump serve. Handled well by Fuchs in the back row. That's a back row swing. Number 9 falling down. There's a dump coming over that we were talking about. Too set. Wow, that was too tight to set. And that is a big swing. That is a back row attack. Phil Fuchs is able to find a great dig, but not quite able to convert on that back row swing. Matadors get bailed out there, and that gives them a 6-4 lead. Once again, Phil Fuchs finding a great pass. Storm absolutely hammers that ball. As a middle blocker, one of the biggest things that you can do is be established early on so that the other middle blocking you has to respect you. Right there, Alex Shmelev makes sure to keep the Matador middle honest, gives his outside hitter a one-on-one. And guys like Storm, they don't take that lightly. They make sure to put it away. Looks like a touch there. Number 2, Christian Encarnacion, cannot tell if that ball's going to stay in or out. Barely gets a touch. That's a point for the Stingers. It's a great little 2-point swing coming in for the Stingers. You'd love to see a real point like that getting scored. Utah Stingers, the hometown team here from Utah, definitely defending. Wow, miscommunication. Libero and middle both think the other guy's got it. And easy tip, falls in the middle. We got a little campfire, boys. Put your hands up and warm yourself as you watch that fall in the middle. Number 2, Encarnacion in the back row. Finds Fuchs short. tight set to the outside. That's a net. Set goes too tight. Said it once, said it twice, said it thrice, and I'll say it one more time. These sets to the outside are just too tight for the guys to get consistent swings on. For anyone just tuning in, we are in Game 2 here at the NVA Showcase 2020. Game 1 went to Stingers, and deep into that, I think it was 29-27 final score. Wow, you love to see that. That is the first dump from Dirk in this match for the Stingers. Turns up, able to slam that ball down quick and easy. Matadors were not ready for that look. He's got a pretty significant size advantage. When you're looking at the setters across the net, Matadors are bringing two shorter setters that we've seen so far, where Durkin has got a lot more size. That's Shmelev with the jump serve short into the tape. Easy bailout point there for the Matadors, with their next middle coming in, Martin Patrice. Matadors number 17 on the back line, Ismail Alamar. Gets a jump serve. He's able to control this one. Wow, great pass. Goes to the backside, a little bit spray. That's a net, looks like, on number 20. But the tip is called, or the point goes down. Point for Stingers. That's a tight set. That requires Durkin to play the net very, very aggressively there, but he's able to handle it. Nice serve down the line, aggressive float. Net called on number 9 here, George Mencia, big outside swing. I think that's the first time Zach Perry is able to find a point for himself on the board this match, maybe the second. It's a good look for him. Setter goes back row for the Matadors. Once again, Vanderbeek front row. Ball's in. That is our first ace of the day, if I'm not mistaken. Love to see that coming out of a small player, especially a setter like that. Shows the big boys, hey, I may not hit in the front row, but I can certainly bring it on the back line. Once again, big serve handled by Phil Fuchs. Ooh, good defensive touch, but that's Metcalf scoring a point here for the Stingers. Once again, middle's keeping the Matadors honest. You're asking who seems stronger? You know, right now this is a very, very different game. We're seeing a lot of experience. The Stingers are not quite in sync with each other, but they're able to find their points. And they're definitely making the Matadors play defense that the Matadors are not showing their ability to handle yet. They're serving very tough and definitely finding a little bit more success. The more they extend rallies, we're going to see some success from them. The obvious answer, though, is the Matadors are absolutely offensive weapons. These guys are very physical, very strong, and you can definitely see that youth in this team as they are explosive on the pin. We're not quite seeing the same conversion from the middles in Matadors that we are from the Stingers, so that's definitely a small point to take note of. The Stingers are having a little bit more control. Phil Fuchs on the back line. Ooh, there. Speak and it shall be answered. The Matadors go right back to the middle and prove me wrong. That's a big swing for number 1. Unable to be picked up by the back row of the Stingers. Number 20 with the jump serve goes long. He's not quite finding his stride. That was a substitution between games. Number 4 comes out. That's number Tuero, that's number 4, Oscar Tuero, and they brought in Zach Perry. Zach's not quite finding his stride. Sometimes takes a little time off the bench, but Stingers going ahead and pick on him to serve receive. And that's one of the first big swings we've seen from number 2, Christian Encarnacion, front row this match, or this game. Game 1, I think he scored about 6 points, so we should see him kind of starting to activate a little bit. They've been looking for him back row, not having a ton of success just yet, but definitely not someone to be slept on here. He's going to be able to find some points, I'm sure. Shmelev handles the ball well as a middle serve short. Yeah, we're looking good. Yep, we can hear you. All right, that's a point for the Stingers. We're putting number 9 here on the back line, George Mencia. All right, that's a big swing for the Matadors. Not quite able to hear you guys in my ear. A little quiet, trying to turn you up. All right, we've got 18 on the back line. Vanderbeek. All right, Vanderbeek's on the back line looking for a jump serve. Big serve, Storm handled perfectly. Big swing to the back line, just stays clear and overpass. Setter number 4, Durkin, finds his swing as well. You'll love when a setter gets a chance to flex a little bit there. That's gonna put Storm on the line. For my team supporting me, I'm not able to hear Olivia, so if we're able to patch her in, that'd be great. Big set, middle tips over, Stingers handle that well, and there's a big middle attack. Oh, right back, but Shmelev is not able to find that. That set looks low, and he's trying to find some deep corner, but not quite able to do so. All right, we've got 14-13. Matadors are maintaining that 1-point lead. We've got a close game here. Float serve as goes short, once again looking for that. Handled well and goes back outside to Phil Fuchs, but there's a net. Once again, lack of discipline on the Matadors, finding some net calls here. That's going to put Shmelev on the back line for the Stingers. Looks like the score might have been off that last one, so it is officially 15-14 now. I'm not sure what their call is, if that's not impeding in the play, but looks like they're going to go ahead and play it for right now. Tight set, unable to be found by a dig from the Matadors. Once again, tight set coming out to the pin there. I don't know if that's their goal or intentional, but looks like it's really tough. Now, when you've got a small setter like that, you absolutely want to challenge. If you're the Stingers, you want to take it to number 12 all day long. You want to make him make a move. You want to make that opposite behind him play some defense. And they're able to find some luck there with Phil Fuchs in the front row. Jump serve from Shmelev. Not able to find this one, but he's been quite effective on the back line for the Stingers thus far. And we find Chandler Bow back into the match. Number 1 also rotating in on the side of the Matadors, Martin Patrice. That's a toss. Serve goes long. Ismail's been having some trouble in the back line today. I think that's his 3rd serve missed long. And he's not finding the aces to justify it right now, so he might need to make some adjustments on the service line. But that's also going to bring Leo Durkin to the back line. Big float serve. He's in the net as well. Welcome to men's volleyball. You got to serve aggressive or you're going to pay for it on the back end. So these guys are trying to find their targets. Right now, I think the Stingers are being quite effective though on the back line. They're really picking apart seams on the Matadors. And Matadors are hitting some jump serves, but they're having to take a lot of pace off for most of their guys, and it's being handled quite easily by the Stingers, keeping them in system. Here's another jump serve. Last time he was on the line, he was able to get an ace. Handled well, goes to the outside. That's the set you'll love to see. Wow, big dig. That's a little questionable lift on the side there, but keeps the play going, and Storm finds the bottom of the tape. What I was seeing there and what I was commenting on is the second contact looked like it was a little bit of a lift on that side of the net, but the refs are looking to let the guys play here. So, you know, I'm also a big fan of that. Matador is able to find their way back into it with an 18-16 lead now. We're seeing a lot of success when they've got their setter on the back line, and there's a big jump serve there. Phil Fuchs, though, cannot be rattled. That man is passing 3 right now. Big swing, handled well, getting a touch. Stingers got a talk, but again, very tight and absolutely shut down by Zach Perry. That's the discipline I was talking about between games 1 and game 2 that I really wanted to see those guys be able to get a nice stop when the tips come over. And that's absolutely what we want to seal. Zach Perry making a good adjustment there, sealing and throwing that ball right back at the Stingers. Phil Fuchs not able to convert on that ball. For the 3rd serve in this run, we've got number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, once again back there for the Matadors. He's got a big jump serve serving straight down the line. Oh, goes for the off speed, gets Phil Fuchs. Handled well with a one-handed set from Stingers. Matadors goes to the outside, blocked by the Stingers. 3 touches, they are not able to return that ball. Matadors don't quite come up with that one. Once again, number 17, Corey Metcalf, finding a way to get to the outside, and the middle blockers are really putting in some work here for the Utah Stingers. This is a team that's got a wealth of experience in the middle. They've also got Olympian Russell Holmes on the bench that's not playing right now. And they've got another middle that's not yet here that will be here later on in the event. That is a short ace. Wow. A little off speed for Phil Fuchs, finds the tape. Matadors are just not quite able to handle that. And right now we have a score of 19-18. Stingers looking to battle back during this exchange on the service line. Phil Fuchs has definitely proven to be a scoring leader and some defensive leader for the Stingers right now, and definitely a guy that they're relying to keep them going. Big toss. Serve, but he is not quite able, and there's a foot fault called. But you love when a guy's able to go back there and find one. At a high level of men's play, it's generally acceptable. If you're able to find an ace in a service run, an error to follow up is also okay. If you're serving tough enough to get aces, the errors are going to happen. That is an egregious foot fault there on the side of the Matadors. Not what you want to see. Both these teams are a little rattled right now, and they need to find their sorts, making some unforced errors. There's a timeout on the side of the Matadors. They still got a 2-point lead coming in. We're seeing 20-18, but absolutely they need to find a way to slow this game down. Get some scoreboards figured out here for the players. Having some technical difficulties on the sidelines. I think online you guys should be all set. Okay, there's a little update. It's looking like it's 20-19. 1 point more needs to go to the Stingers for that live stream for you guys. So Matadors, that's why they called that timeout. They lost that 2-point lead that they had. So when that margin narrows to 1, Coach Michael Bastida makes sure he wants to slow the game down a bit, talk to his guys, get a plan how they're going to try to finish this game out, even the score 1-1 in the match. As we go back here, we've still got a middle on the back line. That's number 17, Corey Metcalf. This is a big front row for the Stingers, and if they're going to be able to find a way back into the match, this is how you do it. Good float, goes deep, forces a deep pass. Well handled, big swing, but Shmelev finds a touch, not able to keep it in there. That's a big swing. Once again, Jacob Vanderbeek. Really impressed with him so far this match. He's finding all sorts of points and ways to be involved. Number 1, Martin Patrice on the back line. Usually goes with the float serve short down the line. There it is, like clockwork. All right, handled well. Shmelev finds a swing. Sets his outside Storm. Storm tips, not handled well by the Matadors. They're looking for a big swing tip that's handled also, tight. Shmelev goes up. Storm throwing another tip back, just not able to put it together on the side of the Stingers. Wow. Number 2, Christian Encarnacion there, looking for high hands, and Nate is just swinging a bit too high there. No one home for that one. Number 9, George Mencia knows better than to go blocking high hands for that ball. He is low and tight on the net, not giving any options. Number 9 looks for the serve short, not able to find it. The net is a little too high for the Stingers right now. That's 2 float serves in a row that we're seeing going into the net. But looking to battle back, Jacob Vanderbeek's going to be hitting a big jump serve. Right now, he's really been shown that he likes to go to the front row outside cross court. So I'm expecting Storm to be receiving this ball. Maybe it finds Phil Fuchs in the seam, but he's been explosive to say the least. Ooh, goes down the line a little bit, crosses them up in the back row, but Phil Fuchs finds a Beek. Unstoppable for him. It is 2 different worlds. You are seeing some explosive swingers on the side of the Matadors, and there's not quite that explosion from the Stingers, but they are just smart. They know where to attack your hands as a blocker, so if you're not disciplined, they're going to make you work for it on defense. And Matadors right now showing that they're not quite ready and able to handle that. Good float serve down the line by Storm. Great set from his knees. Number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, running the offense that he wants to run. You'll love to see that connection. He finds Ismail Alomar up top in the middle. Great swing, goes to the corner. Big point for the Matadors, helps secure that lead, makes feel good going in as this game is closing out. Maintain that 2-point lead. Short float trying to take the outside out, which is going to force the backside, and that's a back row attack. Steps on the line. Yep. Number 9 going on the back row there. Steps on the line. Absolutely. That's a great call by the refs. And that's bringing us to a timeout for the Stingers, looking for a way to slow this game down. not what they were hoping to see there, but it was a great call nonetheless. All right, if the Matadors are able to close this out, that's going to bring us to 1-1. For everyone that's tuning in, we are live from Salt Lake City. This is the first match of the tournament. We are going to be bringing you guys about 25 matches. We're going to be bringing you guys about 25 matches over the next 4 days, so this is going to be really exciting. Glad to see this kind of unfolding live right now. We're going to be going, it looks like, to at least 4 games to start the tournament, and definitely a couple big swings from number 2 out here, bringing us something new with Christian Encarnacion. The one thing I definitely want to see is both these teams continue to clean things up, because right now it is still a little bit sloppy. You can tell it's the first match. Matadors, a big advantage these guys have is they've got an absolute army. They've got 20 guys that are practicing together regularly outside in Ontario, California, and we're going to see their system kind of click here, I think, as we come into this match. Stingers are looking like they're still struggling to find each other, so we want to see that adjustment being made on their side. Float serve from the Matadors goes short once again, and Phil Fuchs handles well, goes up, finds a swing, but there's a touch from the Matadors, and the set looks like it's going to go to the outside here. Big swing from number 20, Zach Perry. That's the difference. You want to see a guy like that making game 2 after the sub. Comes in, finds the final point of the game. That goes to game 2, Matadors. We are all set 1-1 here, and just a quick reminder for anyone that didn't catch it between game 1 and game 2. As we go into game 2 and game 3 here, we are not switching sides, as we are all doing our best to be mindful of COVID here. We want to make sure that everything is sanitized on the benches and that these players are able to kind of stay in their own areas. So you are going to see the same sides, yellow for Matadors and blue for Stingers. They're going to be maintaining the same thing here, a little different. Also, before the match start, there's no handshaking, so it'll be funny to watch a bunch of these players that for the last decade of their lives as they play, they habitually, you hear that whistle blow and they're looking to shake hands, but that's not going to be happening here. A couple waves across the net, friendly exchanges, and it's just going to be a little different, but everyone's been doing their best to acclimate here. And that's been a big change that we're seeing as these teams have been training in the offseason. Everyone had a pretty short notice to get these rosters ready, so everyone does their best to keep a roster together in the offseason training, but with everything shut down, everyone was kind of relying on their players to be disciplined, trying to maintain their diet, working out, staying in shape. So when the phone call came in and we were able to find practice facilities for all 8 of these teams, everyone was ready to go so that we can have some really high quality play that we're bringing you here. Obviously, you're seeing some of these guys have, they're missing some touches that I think we're going to see them clean up as this event goes on, but that's, that's to be expected. And I'm just happy that we're able to see some high level volleyball coming in. I think everyone's been missing that, and as we develop that here in the U.S., it's definitely going to be an exciting thing to see develop here. Matadors have a wealth of players, though. If we see this match, if they need to continue making any adjustments or changes, they've got a very, very deep bench that we already saw them make 1 substitution between matches, or between set 1 and set 2, so definitely excited to see that. Stingers are looking a little bit less deep over here this weekend. They've got some guys that are going to be coming in throughout the next day or so, but for right now, they're a little shallow on the bench, so they're going to be relying on this team that they've got on the court to really find a way to make it done. They've got a couple options, of course, but I think we're going to see them trying to look for a little chemistry improvement, and that's going to really bring the change that they're hoping to see. Throughout the day, we've got we've got about 7 more matches, I believe, after this. So the format that we've got all set up here is we've got the American League and the National League. In the American League, you're going to see the Utah Stingers, LA Blaze, the Tennessee Tyrants, and the Ontario Matadors. So this is the Matadors playing the Stingers. Over in the national side, we've got the Las Vegas Ramblers, the Orange County Stunners, Southern Exposure, and Team Freedom. So the way that we're doing this over the next 2 days is every team is going to play their pool, the American League and the National League. So everyone's going to have 3 matches, best of 5s for everything. We're going to then slot each team on a 1st through 4. The 4th and 3rd seeds are going to play each other in a challenge match on Saturday. The winner of that is going to play the 2nd seeds in another challenge match, and the winner of that is going to go on to play the 1st seeds on Sunday in the semifinals, with the winners going on to compete in our finals. So it's basically going to slot you in, and then you got to start battling your way back if you're in that 3rd or 4th seed from the pool play here. So we'll continue to explain that. This is just kind of a quick glimpse so that our viewers know what they can expect. But for now, we're going to see a lot of teams that are going after it, trying to get that first and second slots to really buy themselves some time. First slot is going to be really, really important because that's going to allow you a bye all the way into Sunday. So if you're burning a lot of players, you're going to have a nice rest on Saturday. That's really important because in an event like this where you've got so many matches, roster management is going to be crucial. So teams like the Matadors, you have a lot of faith that when they've got 17, 18 guys on that roster, they're going to be able to go deep. Another team that I know has got that is you're going to see the Las Vegas Ramblers. They're bringing an army of guys, and they're going to be ready to swing. So we're going to see a variety of teams that are bringing in a lot of talent. There's a lot of homegrown talent here in the U.S., and a lot of these teams, in order to make sure that they were able to bring out a good roster with competitive players, we've got players coming in from Canada for the Stunners. We've got a wealth of players for Puerto Rico and Matadors, as well as a spattering of other teams. I think LA Blaze has got some as well. There's also some guys coming up from Mexico. So North America is really finding themselves well represented here in the NBA. And a lot of players are overseas that are on these teams, and they're playing in their normal contracts. So, but we've got another little insight here with Olivia is going to give us some sideline reporting. So over to you, Olivia.
Thanks, Nick. Now it is tied, and I was in the huddles between this next set, and on the Stingers side, they said, let's really watch the Beek in transition. We need to take care of the free ball, but overall, they're happy with the level of play in that second set. They just want to clean up the little stuff. On the Matadors side, they're really looking for more consistency on that serve, and we saw it in the areas at the net. They're playing a little bit too tight, so they want to be conscious of their body there, and they said that there were some nerves in that first set, and they're pleased with how they're playing now. Nick?
Thanks, Olivia. Wow, that's some great insight. Glad to hear what's going on inside those. You know, I can sit here and surmise and try and provide my experience, but getting that inside look is really, really insightful. Right now, we've got us tied up at 1-1 with the Matadors and Stingers taking us off in Game 3. Not only is it 1-1 on the scoreboard, but that's where we're at in the set count, 1-1. So we're playing a best of 5 here, but that is a serve number 4, short in the net with Leo Durkin. Now, as the NBA continues to grow, we always appreciate your guys' support, and something that we're doing is we're running, I think, a 7 or 8 camera system here. So we're getting you guys all sorts of angles, trying to provide the highest quality content that we can. We're bringing on a team of experienced play-by-play casters as well as sideline reporters with Olivia. So that's going to be really exciting to help bring you guys the highest level content that we can. And that's a big swing for the Stingers right there coming out of the back row. And that's going to bring us to 2-2. Phil Fuchs on the back line. Everyone prepping here. That's Fuchs going onto the back line with a nice swing. Handled okay, high ball, settable to the outside. Matadors with a big swing. They've kept in number 20, Zach Perry. Great cross-court angle. George Mencia is able to see the double block in front of him, cross things up and go to the left there. Nobody was home on defense. You know, that's a ball you're hoping that your right back defender is staying home for, but he was able to find it and really challenge and make sure that they're staying honest, and they're going to score those points. And like Olivia said, you know, if the Matadors have those nerves, they're not quite dialed in. That's the point that's going to go down. Phil Fuchs absolutely hammers a serve on the back line, handled well. Chandler Bow unable to track down that ball that was dug by Setter Durkin here. New middle coming in. We got Rafael Burgos coming in. He's a 6'8" middle. There is an absolute wealth of size for the Matadors here. So seeing a new middle, they're looking for a different look. Short serve goes to Storm, and he's able to handle that well. Bangs the ball down the line, unable to be dug by number 1, Martin Patrice. They've got a middle blocker playing middle back defense there. A little different look, but looking for something different on that side. Storm absolutely handles that set well, and that's the set we want to see from Durkin there. Metcalf on the back line, serve short. Wow. Stingers are absolutely struggling. When you've got guys serving those float serves, those have got to be in, so you're giving the green light to your jump servers there. And that's not what you want to see. I think that's 4 in the net between the end of the last game and the start of this one. So they'll need to make some adjustments there, especially if they want to be competitive and challenge this explosive Matadors team. 18 on the back line with a big jump serve. He's fine to tape, but it goes over. Live goes to the outside. Storm is on fire. Storm Fa'angata Tufunga is absolutely hammers that ball. He's been a little slow to get started, but as long as those sets are going to be 1.5 feet off the net, give him some space to see that block, he is going to be a force to be threatened with and definitely someone to keep an eye on. Short serve finds an overpass, handled by Storm, goes to the backside. Number 9 for the D-ball, handled well, covered by Shmelev, going back outside to Storm, and if that man can't be touched, then he cannot be stopped. Storm going for the 3rd kill of the game. Absolutely different look for Storm than we've seen today so far. Phil Fuchs can take a back seat if Storm wants to swing like that from the outside. Serve down the line, float serve in. Matadors goes to their D-ball, does not get above the net. They're looking like they get a touch call and in. Little questionable. That ball looks like it's below the height of the net. Refs are giving us confirmation, though they in fact did see a touch. Stingers got to play to the whistle there, though. That's part of the discipline, and sometimes you're hoping for the easy point when someone else commits a fault, but that just did not happen here. Number 20 goes to the float serve, short to Fuchs, but Stingers really relying on that. That's a great dig. Pancake there by number 11, Libero. Dug by Phil Fuchs. Goes outside to Storm. Storm goes for that off speed. Once again, looks like a pancake dig is good, but the ref calls that one down. I don't have a great angle on that one. It's a good move by Beek back there, but just not able to see it. Now, when a swing like that comes in from Storm, that's something that he spent the last 3 swings buying himself that tip. He's unloading deep into the court, so he's got defense playing deep. So when he tips over the top, that defense is naturally deeper. It's a really, really smart play from him. Unfortunately, goes to the back line, and that's one of the first missed serves we've seen from him, hitting that hybrid. Now, for those unfamiliar with a hybrid is a top spin toss. Looks like a jump serve coming at you, and he slows that ball down, able to hit a float serve. So it's a very aggressive float serve a lot of the time. That's hard to read as a passer. Good look for him. Handled well by Bao out of the Stingers. Shmelev gets a block, 1-on-1. Martin Patrice says not today. There's been a bit of mismatch here in the middle, but Shmelev not able to find that, and Patrice absolutely takes the 1-on-1 block in his favor. Number 5 on the back line, this is Rafael Burgos. He's the new middle blocker that's been brought in by the Matadors. Like I said, there's a wealth of players, and they're going to use them. Once again, though, you know, Kevin Rodriguez is a 5'10" setter, but this guy is absolutely shown he is a physical player. He's scored some aces on the back line. That's his 2nd overpass kill. You'll love seeing a little guy get involved with the big boys up front. Great swing from the setter. Little float serve comes over. An aggressive set to the back D-ball. Handled well by Beek, but that's going to go in a net. That's a net by number 12. Yep, good call. No, that is not the correct call. I think I'm seeing things a little differently from where I sit in the refs, but that was looking like a number 12 as the setter looked like he was trying to challenge. He found the net, but Stingers disagree with that call. But that point's going to go for the Matadors. Float serve kisses the net on the way by. Stingers handle well. Once again going to that D-ball, but Beek able to find this dig. Little set goes, just barely misses the pin, but he's able to find a live swing, and Phil Fuchs gets triple blocked there. That's a really, really well set, disciplined block by the Matadors, and that's going to go ahead and force the Stingers to call a timeout. They're going to look for a way to battle back into this. 10-7. Definitely not a death sentence by any means here in the 3rd set, but you want to put a stop in this pretty quick. A big thing about men's volleyball and volleyball in general is finding a way to side out at a high level. So when the other team's serving, one of the worst things that can happen is you let them start racking up 1 or 2 real points. Real points when you're scoring as your team is serving. So you definitely want to see a little bit more care that's taken. The Stingers, I think, are passing the ball pretty well, but they've got to find a way to convert that into some offense here. The middle's been slowed down a little bit, so they're getting camped with doubles and triple blocks on the pin. So if I'm the Stingers right now, I want to see a good pass. I want to find a nice high set to the middle. I want to absolutely have Alex Shmelev unloading the ball, find it deep into the corner, find a little bit of a different look. They've been going on to that D-ball right now with George Mencia twice in a row, and he's not quite finding what they're looking for. So maybe a little different look. You've got Storm his back row as well right now, so he's been a big swinger for them in this game, so they're struggling to find the right way out. When you got a front row setter, there's not a lot of options, so tight pass, we might also see Durkin look for a dump. Ball's handled well. You want to see the middle attack. Goes to the backside once again, but now Mencia finds it. That experience goes through. There's a lot of trust there from Dirk, and he knows Mencia is going to get his back, and that's a great swing into the corner that Matador is just not able to pick up. Love to see that. So they're able to stop that run. We've got 10-8 now for the Matadors. Shmelev on the back line, been pretty aggressive so far. Tosses that jump serve, but not able to find the net. Well, he's actually able to find the net quite well. Not able to find the serve in the court there. Right now, we've got a little sideline action for Olivia, so we're going to go ahead and toss it over here. Olivia, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Nick. In that Stingers timeout, Coach was preaching their setter on the Matador side is getting really confident. And like they talked about before they started this third set, let's just be disciplined. Again, it's the little things. Nick?
Absolutely, and right now we've got a little discussion. You talk about that confidence. There's a little disagreement on whether or not there's a foot fault. He is absolutely going after that ball. I was talking about his confidence and his ability to swing, especially as a short setter. And right now, when you see him going back with that aggressive toss, Matadors have been very close on a lot of their tosses. Right now, there's a pretty good amount of serving room in this facility, but they're really making sure they're using every inch they got. So he shortens it up there, but it's handled well by the Stingers. We're back into transition. Phil Fuchs finding a chip down the line, and that's the swing you want to see. Phil Fuchs' experience coming out, and wealth of experience, and he swings down the line, unable to be picked up by the Matadors. So that's going to go ahead and put the setter in the back row rotation now, and the Matadors looking like they got 3 front row swingers. Same thing for the Stingers. Ball goes outside, tight set. That's getting a good touch from the Stingers. Set goes up to the libero. And once again, they're going to the oppo, but he is just not quite able to find it. Mencia goes for the swing there. And once again, we're finding a stop on the side of the Matadors. But no shock to any of us here. That's Jacob Vanderbeek absolutely handling that block, knows where to set it, and his middles are able to close to him. Love to see it. Discipline blocking at this high of a level can be a tricky thing to maintain, and he has shown that he's absolutely capable. Big swing, but not able to find it. The middles are definitely struggling here on Stingers. Metcalf not quite able to connect. That's bringing us back to a 12-9 lead here for the Matadors. Apologies, that's 13-9. Score hadn't quite updated. Now this is where you start to worry. You see a 4-point lead starting to develop. That's where a team starts to really build some confidence. And once again, going back to what Olivia said, when people start feeling that confidence and they get rid of some of those like nerves that you're feeling between games, which once again Olivia addressed, you know, they might struggle to be stopped. And right now though, we're able to find the Stingers kind of chipping away. But a big part of volleyball is the high level of emotion. There's so many points being scored, and so a lot of teams really rely on point scoring in a big way. You want to see a big block, big swing to really get your team fired up. And right now the Stingers, unless Storm's finding those swings, they're not really finding those big kills right now. So it might be a little adjustment we want to see. Jump serve coming from number 6. Handled well by Zach Perry. Set goes to the backside. Once again, Jacob Vanderbeek. Wow, we have had a couple players that every game kind of are really peaking, but I've got my eye on this guy. Jacob Vanderbeek has absolutely been a rock for this Matadors roster. Definitely excited to see how he progresses in this match as well as the tournament. Short serve handled well by the libero for the Stingers. Storm once again answers back. That's what you want to see. Now, something I have experienced playing with the Stingers, these guys are those guys that kind of, they've been there before. So a lot of times they really rely on their experience. They're not the overly vocal players. So when they get a big point like that, you don't see a huge reaction. It's kind of business as usual, and they want to, they want to be able to expect each other to make those kind of points over and over. Matadors, on the other hand, they've got a lot of energy, a lot of youth. They score a point like that, everyone's bringing it in the middle of the court, and there is a lot of excitement for those guys. That's a big kill out of number 5, Rafael Burgos. Burgos is first game in the match here. Substitution made by the Matadors to get him involved, and looking good so far. I think that's the second kill of the game. Love to see that involvement. Vanderbeek on the back line with the jump serve. Handled well, goes out to Storm. Storm with his big swing down the line, stopped for the first time in a while. And the Stingers find a touch, not able to handle that back row swing from the Matadors. Once again, you're really seeing that excitement. And when you got they got, I think, 8 or 9 guys on that bench, if not more. I don't know if I can count that high on my 2 hands, but those guys are absolutely thrilled. And as you can see it on the live camera right now, their guys make sure they got their back on the bench. The bench is absolutely involved. Just because you're not on the court doesn't mean you can't help score points. Beek again on the back line, finds it through the tape, but gets it over. Low Beek, once again, looks like a net from Matadors. They are wanting to really set an aggressive tempo on the blocking scheme, but they're not too disciplined here, it's looking like. So they're getting over the net, but they're not finding a way to get their hands back on their side of the net. So when they're coming down, they are touching the net quite a bit at the top. It's a good break for the Stingers. Float down the line, handled well by number 20. And then goes right back to himself, swing down the line. Once again, getting a disagreement, but we're getting a healthy, getting a call that is disagreeable. Stingers do not like that one. They've had several calls that they don't feel are going their way, so they are absolutely making sure to be vocal about it. Matadors are, there's a yellow card awarded, it looks like, to the bench of the Stingers. But Matadors are happy to chirp a little bit through the net, and that's kind of that confidence. Once again, Olivia really hitting the nail on the head for us there. When we're talking about the confidence developing, a lot of young guys like that, they're going to make sure that you know they're there. And we're definitely seeing that with the Matador roster right now. Bench is excitable, and the court guys are definitely making sure that the Stingers know they are here to play. They might have gone down early in game 1, but they are looking like they are coming on late in this set. Play is ready to resume. Number 20 still on the back line. Zach Perry goes for the float serve. Handled well by the Stingers. Goes to the outside. Storm tries to bang a ball to answer, but he is just not able to find the court. That's looking like a really crucial point. And there is some disagreement on the way that line is being seen over there from the side of the Stingers, but I don't have the look, so I'm just here to give you guys what we're seeing live on the sidelines. Definitely delivering with some big swings, but these teams are, it's a very interesting thing because these teams are really changing the way they look, whether it's intentional or not. Early on, the Matadors looked very, very intentional with who they were serving. They were finding cross-court aggressive jump serves, and that's kind of changed up. It looks like they're now trying to just kind of give their guys the green light and attack whoever they can. They're going after some short float serves to try and take the front row outside, out of the hitting patterns. And it seems like it's working quite well for them because the Stingers are just not able to get their middles involved. And that's led to a 6-point lead developing here in the third game for the Matadors. All right, we've still got number 20, Zach Perry. This is his 3rd or 4th serve this run. Float serve going right to Phil Fuchs. Still not able to handle it, but Storm keeps the ball alive. Free ball coming over from the Stingers. Matadors don't handle it the way they need to, so it's a prayer that goes to the outside, tip over the top. Once again, the Stingers just look out of sorts trying to find that tip. A little bit of communication here and there, but you know, it all starts with a pass. If you're not able to handle that the way you need and you're free balling, this Matador team is not going to let you get away. We got Olivia with another little bit of insight here, so we're going live to Olivia.
Mentioned the Matadors' excitement was just overflowing from the players on the court and on the bench. And I caught up with Coach heading into the weekend, and you know, we talked about the objectives, and they were really focusing on communicating, but one of the things that he really stressed was having fun, and that was something different that he mentioned than the other coaches. And I also got to catch up with the athletes, and the overwhelming response about what they were looking forward to this weekend was just the ability to be back on the court after such a hiatus from coronavirus and COVID, and you're seeing that joy that they're exuding on the other side of the court.
Absolutely, that is, you know, you could not be more right, Olivia. There is absolutely a ton of excitement from that team with a huge dig coming in from the libero. Make sure to air that ball out, and the Stingers cannot find it. Olivia was talking a little bit ago about the confidence of number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, and I gotta tell you, it is infectious. Number 11, the libero, Jose Mulero right now is absolutely making sure that everyone knows he is on the court. It is a tough train to stop right now. We've got an 8-point lead. Stingers don't seem to have an answer. Looking for the middle. Shmelev is not able to find it. Once again, the lead extends and continues. Right now, if you're the Stingers, I'm thinking about how do I settle my guys down? How do I get everyone dialed in? We're thinking game 4 right now. You've still got a game. You bought yourself some time. But let's get the guys recentered. So every point you can win right now to get guys moving back in the right positive mindset is a big win. Back row attack called there from the up ref. Once again, a little questionable. I got a pretty good look at that, and he looked like he was good. So the Stingers are, I think, a little bit out of sorts and in their own head. Interesting substitution coming in from Matadors. They're going to go ahead and pull Zach Perry for another outside. Diego, these young guns get to play against one of the OGs of the sport here. Russ is definitely going to make sure that they earn their points. But Russ rotates off. Chandler Bauer returns for the Stingers. No other substitutions. We saw some life there from number 1, Storm, coming in for the Stingers. So we'll see if they're able to find more points with him. Matadors look like they're going to run the same lineup as well, but we're getting underway here with number 4, and that's Leo Durkin on the back line, the setter, as we go into game 4. Refs are giving the hand signals that we are ready. Let's get into it. Set goes to the outside, number 20. Phil Fuchs unable to handle that. Matadors have definitely cleaned up their serve receive a little bit. So once again, even though their offense doesn't seem to include too many of the middle looks, they are able to get great sets going to their outside, and they're challenging the blocker high hands. Oh, this is my favorite part of the day. Olivia coming to us from the sideline with a new take. Olivia, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Nick. In between those sets, I got to listen into the huddles, and on the Stinger side, you mentioned it with the lineup changes. They want to give the Matadors a different look. They're really looking to be more aggressive in this set. They said their passing is decent, but they really want to get the ball up a little bit more, and they're looking for energy. On the Matador side, they're happy with the consistency. They said they've improved setting. We saw them the last 2 sets. Their blocking is better, and they're getting the ball to the setter much more successfully, and they're really just looking to keep it dialed in.
Awesome. Definitely great insight. And if you're looking for someone to make some blocking changes, no better than Russell Holmes. Absolutely. Matadors, though, handling that serve with ease. There's the block, though. I love it. I love when you have a take and you see it come into effect right away. That is Corey Metcalf in the middle making the adjustment. Finds the block to the backside with a big point. That is huge for the Stingers as they try to find a way back into this lead here. It's going to put Storm on the back line for us. Going with that hybrid once again, finds it in. Great aggressive serve, puts the Matadors into a little bit of a tough spot. Great dig down the line there from Chandler. Swing goes wide. I don't see a touch. That's Matadors missing out on a point right there. Stingers extend their lead by 2. That's a great dig down the line by Chandler Bow there. Definitely looking for some big digs from him. So when he's able to get a big dig like that, love it. Well past middle. There's another one. Stingers keep it alive, tip it deep into the court, looking for a reset. Ball's going to the backside once again. Dug, though, by Storm. Going to be an aggressive swing here on 2. And once again, the Matadors are just not disciplined enough. You can see some dissatisfaction coming out of the libero, number 11, Jose Malero. The back row wants to make sure the front row is being disciplined. And when you got digs coming out of the back row like that for the Stingers, you've just got to be more disciplined in the block. Stingers going once again from the back line. Passed well, that's going to be going to the outside. Oh my goodness, 1-on-1. Number 9, George Mencia makes sure that number 18, Vanderbeek, for Matadors, knows that he is not done with this set just yet. And there it is, a 5-1 lead for the Stingers. What a turnaround. It's funny because, you know, you're looking for the substitutions to be the guys that really bring that change of energy, but Russ Holmes hasn't even hit the court yet. You're seeing the same guys that were struggling down by a 10-point lead right now dig deep and find a way to bring themselves back into this match all on their own. Love to see that when a team does not count themselves out. And that's what I was saying earlier. When you get brains versus, that's what I was kind of pitching that, brains versus brawn. This is the brains. This is that steadfast attitude. These guys know how to play. BYU players know how to play deep into a game when they've got to go to 5. There's a lot of experience, a lot of confidence. They've been here before. All these guys on the Utah Stingers, this is not their first rodeo. Now, however, that's something I'm going to be curious to see how the Matadors battle back. A lot of young guys, and it's easy to get really excitable when you're doing well, but how do you handle it when you get knocked down? Storm comes out with a big serve out of the timeout. Tipped, dug by the Stingers. Going to number 9 once again. He tools the ball. Come and bring it my way. That's another point scored for him. George making sure that the Matadors Matadors were happy to chirp through the net a little bit earlier, and George is shutting that down. He doesn't want to hear about it. Storm's putting an aggressive serve they love to see. Coming once again, very flat, handled well by the Matadors. Goes to the backside, big swing, big touch, and you know that's a point for the Matadors. But when you're getting blocks like that or block touches like that for the Stingers, that's not a great confidence booster for the Matadors. Sometimes it feels like you're only just barely stopping the bleeding. So we'll see how they answer back here. Number 20 on the back line with the float serve. Handled well by Chandler. And once again, George goes back there. If you've got a guy hot like that, you are riding George Mencia. So don't expect to see any stopping as he goes back row. Absolutely going to be some sets going back to him. However, there's a new look. Russ Holmes hits the court, so you're going to be splitting that middle blocker from the Matadors. There's going to be a lot of chances for number 9 to keep scoring from the back row. Oh, he's still front row. Apologies. Just like that. Russ Holmes brings the energy, brings the block, not up in here, Russ Holmes says from the bench. It's hard not to love to see a guy get that excited about the game. Absolutely brings the fire. Unfortunate serve into the pin down the line, but you know, if you ever get a chance to talk with Russ off the court, one of the nicest guys, absolute gentleman, and a little bit quiet. But you get him on the court, he will bring the fire and make sure that you are there to play. Short serve coming through, handled well by Chandler, goes to the backside. Like I said, once again, number 9, unstoppable. George Mencia showing that he is, it's his turn this game. You know, game 1, Phil Fuchs. Game 2, we're going to Storm, showing that he's ready to carry the team. And now we are going into game 4. George Mencia says, hey guys, my turn. I'm the last pin, my time to shine. Pass handled well, one-handed set goes back, and Vanderbeek is dug once again by George. Ball sent over by Russ Holmes there, and then the swing comes in. That's a great swing. You'll love to see Christian Encarnacion once again live on the Matador side. Aggressive swing, challenges the block. Now we've got that same double sub that we've been seeing coming in for the Matadors. Keeping that setter back row. They've got Jair, number 15, Jair Santiago coming into the front row, and you've got number 3, Jesus Serrano on the back line serving. All right, float serve coming in. Handled well by Storm. Set goes to the outside. Metcalf, sorry, not Metcalf. Apologies, that's Phil Fuchs. Phil Fuchs with the chisel, though. He's definitely shown that he's got he loves to swing deep in the court, but if you don't give him a disciplined blocker on the line, he is going to use you all day long. And Jair not able to get a stop off the bench there. Big toss coming from Phil Fuchs. Looks to go for the aggressive jump serve here. Swinging down the line, handled, gives some air up, get a pass and get a set there. Triple block from the Stingers, but there's Jair finding a way to score some points. Swings through that triple block, Stingers just not able to get the stop. We've got a 5-point lead still though for the Stingers, so Matadors have some ground to make up for sure. And that's gonna put number 2 on the back line for the Matadors. Chandler handles the pass well, Russ Holmes finds a swing, but it's a good touch by the Matadors. Number 20 swings. Once again, Russ Holmes says, respect my authority. Straight down block for Russ Holmes. We can expect a float serve coming in from him off the bench. Now we've got Metcalf entering the match. Matadors got to find a way to get that energy back right now. Russ Holmes, the float serve down the line, handled well. And tip goes over the top. Russ Holmes lays out, finds a dig, and there's the swing. Storm with a big swing and handled well. And there's the tip coming off speed, but Stingers absolutely keeping that ball alive. Storm chops another ball into the corner. Matadors are not ready to play that defense, and the Stingers are really finding ways to attack the seams here at the Matadors. I definitely want to give credit, though, to the libero and the Matadors. As much as some other things are falling apart, he is absolutely on his game and serve receive right now, making sure to give them the best options that they can coming out of the serve receive attack here. Once again, Russ Holmes with the float serve coming up. Cross court, makes the front row outside pass the ball. Back goes, back sets Jair. Block is late, and that's a big swing for him. Number 9, George Mencia, unable to come up with that dig. Now we're going to see a middle blocker in the back row, Mr. Burgos with the serve. I believe he likes to serve that short float, trying to take Storm out of the attacking option, if I'm not mistaken. Phil Fuchs might try to step in and help him out here. Chandler takes the serve instead. Back set goes, and number 9, once again, George Mencia is on fire, unable to be stopped. I think that's kill number 6 this game. He is absolutely putting the Stingers on his back right now. Love to see that kind of energy, especially from a guy that was not quite finding the consistency you hope to see early on, but he is ready to go right now, no question asked. That's going to put number 4, Leo Durkin, on the back line serving. He goes for the float serve. Bump set to the outside. Number 20 finds a chisel off the block. Zach Perry got stopped on his last swing, but this one he definitely finds his way through the block. He's been having some pretty good successes. He got subbed in the middle of game, or at the beginning of game 2 for the Matadors here. We've got Jair in the back row looking for a serve. He's going to go jump serve. That means a front row setter right now. Handled well by Phil Fuchs. Set goes to the outside. George gets stopped. That's a huge block from the setter. Definitely impressed by the Matadors. They've got some shorter setters, but those guys are definitely making sure that everyone knows that they are there. Now, something interesting that happens is these teams have the same, they've got the same rotation when the match starts. So you've got setters in back row and front row at the same time. Now, when this double sub comes in, what you're seeing is that's going to flip the Matadors to having a back row setter. So we actually have a little bit of a mismatch right now. So the Matadors have a front row setter while the Stingers have a back row setter. What that means is the Stingers are going to have 3 hitting options front row. So they're really going to be able to attack through the outside because they're going to have a mismatch. Especially when you have George Mencia, who's killing the ball. He's 6'6". This guy's ready to put some points away. If I'm the Stingers, I'm going outside right now. I am feeding my hot hand and giving George Mencia the ball, letting him take us out of this rotation. Phil Fuchs has been passing well. We're seeing some improved passes from Chandler Bow as well in the yellow jersey back there. But not too sure what's being discussed right now. I think it's rotation related. But Matadors, you know, any stop like this definitely kind of puts them in a tough spot because you really want to see them be able to ride their high energy. And when the game is slowing down, when you're scoring points, that's not always what you want to see. Again, for anyone that's watching, that's not a volleyball native. This sport is really all about the energy for a lot of teams. So, you know, they're trying to find their way to close this 4-point gap. But this is going to be Jair Santiago on the back line. Sorry about that. I saw a 4-point because there was a little mismatch. I think we've got the score correct now at 8-13, so that's going to be a 5-point adjustment here. 5-point difference, apologies. Jair's going back for this jump serve, and Stingers looking to serve, receive, and get their offense going. Oh, there it is. Like I said, a little dangerous when the game gets slowed down, and Jair not able to handle that and gets iced. It's going to put Storm on the back line right now for the Stingers. Little toss, hits that hybrid floater. High ball goes out, and they have to go to the back row option. Handled decently by Chandler, gives them a chance to track that down, and Phil Fuchs goes for the deep roll. It's going to be a set going to the outside off the net. Number 20 puts a great down ball that forces the Stingers to just kind of keep the ball alive. Free ball comes over, and now the Matadors are looking for their offense. Storm, absolutely perfect pass on the dig there. Didn't quite get handled the way you want to see, though, from Durkin. Tip kept alive by Phil Fuchs. Ball goes long, touch called. That's a little bit wide, it looks like, but they get the touch call. Metcalf doesn't seem to be disagreeing. I think he got a piece of that, but that's a lucky break there for the Matadors, and we're going to see the Stingers just battle back, look for one more pass here, and once again, I'm going to George Mencia. They go back to the outside. Phil Fuchs misses long. No touch call is made. Stingers disagree with that. But guys, you know, you don't need to remake the wheel. If you got George Mencia with 7 kills so far in this game, I am riding him into the ground. Get me out of this rotation, George. Let's kill that momentum right now. Good float serve comes in. Good pass from Phil. They go right back to the outside, and Phil Fuchs finds the 4-4. Love to see a swing like that. That is a hard ball to defend. Absolutely shows that he's got a wide range in his hitting arsenal. Great swing. That's going to put middle blocker number 17, Metcalf, on the back line. Well pass, goes to the outside, looks low, no touch. on a quick set on something low like that, you're going to see a lot of outside hitters are going to try to find the outside part of the block, challenge it, and hope that they are late coming up. Now, George Mencia was ready for that, took a block inside, went low and tight, and did not give him an option to find it. So there's a swing that goes wide. Big swing, Jair Santiago comes in. He is continuously able to find some points for these guys out of the back row, and you'd love to see when a sub comes in, makes a difference like that. Big swing for number 15. That's going to put number 1, middle blocker, Patrice, on the back line, looking for his short float serve. Goes deep this time, but still in Phil Fuchs' hands, and that is not where you want to be serving that man. He's got great hands, but Patrice able to find a dig in the backside. Jair once again getting the out-of-system set. Russ Holmes handles first ball and goes right back to him, tip over the top. That man will find a way to score. Pretty impressive little dig there for Patrice. Finds it high on his shoulder and gets a nice dig, but Matador is unable to convert there. We got a lead developing for 6 points. You know, Stingers got punched in the mouth last game, and they are finding a way to fight right back. Number 9, George Mencia coming right back. Dug by Chandler. Set goes to the outside, and Phil Fuchs makes sure that he is not forgotten as an outside hitter. He has definitely shown that this guy knows how to swing. Early on in the match, he's challenging a lot of balls down the line. He just hit a ball, sharp angle, and now he goes to the middle of the court. Russ Holmes making sure the middle stay homes for the Matadors. And wow, what a different look from the Stingers. That is, Matadors really got to figure out how they're going to answer this. You know, and we were talking about it's one sub with Russ Holmes, but he's playing well. That's not the difference we're seeing. We are seeing the rest of the Stingers right now. George Mencia is absolutely on fire, finding swings from all over the court. We're seeing a couple big digs, and the big thing when you see defense being played at a high level, sometimes it's not necessarily about converting that into a point. It's about taking away the momentum and the energy that when you see a big swing come out, when you're not getting those able to hit the court, as a hitter, you start wondering if you need to change it up, and you start looking for a different thing, and that's where you see that swing from number 2, Christian Encarnacion, goes wide in the last rotation. He's looking for a different way to score, and it really starts to get in the head of the players. So Stinger's making some great adjustments. A couple players really stepping up for him right now. Love to see that. Great pass there on the Matadors. Like I said, the libero is absolutely in, and once again, Storm finds the dig, and you go back for number 9, like clockwork. These teams are really delivering some of the most consistent play of the day right now. Number 11 on the Matadors really passing well, but once again, Storm is just picking everything up in the back row for the Stingers. Love to see it. Once again, if in doubt, throw the ball back to George Mencia and let him score you a point. Tight block, dug out of the net there by number 4 for the Stingers. Storm keeps it live, makes the libero pass a ball that goes deep. That's over from the back row setter, it looks like, but, oh no, he's front row, my bad. All good. Chop goes live. Matadors setter finds a nice one-handed back dump. That's my apologies there. I thought I saw the setter was back row, so there was some contact on the net. No over, though. That ball was definitely over the plane of the net, and that's a great call by the refs there. Love seeing a little bit of that sauce and the zhuzh right there from the setter. Goes back with the one-handed dump, makes sure that your off blockers staying home, and no one home gets a point scored for him, but that's an aggressive foot fault. The refs on that one quick, making sure that the Matadors are quick to give over the ball there. It's going to put Phil Fuchs on the back line. Phil's been hitting some great jump serves all day. Excited to see what he's able to do here. There's the toss. Takes a little bit off, makes sure to serve the front row outside. The ball goes tight. Ball set goes over, and Russ Holmes finds a touch. Forces a back row attack. Little discussion here again. I think the setter's front row, but he set the ball over the net. So Russ Holmes is definitely in the right, having access to that ball on the plane of the net, not letting it come over. But where I disagree is I think that the setter's, nope, setter's back row. Setter is back row. That is a correct call by the refs. Ball goes over the net. Russ Holmes has absolute access to that. All right, that's a serve in the net for Phil Fuchs, but once again, he's able to get that real point, and that's what you want to see. When you're able to go back and continue extending your score by 1, that's a big advantage right there. Now we've got a serve for the Matadors coming in. Number 2, and Mr. Christian Encarnacion comes off, and he's cooled down quite a bit. That first game, he looked like he was the answers for the Matadors, but he cooled down, so I don't know if they're just kind of giving him a break and looking to come back with him in Game 5 here, but Game 4 is looking like it is ending quite quickly. There's a jump serve, not what you want to see, but again, that's a tough spot for any player to be in there. He's got number 6. Diego Bustos has been on the bench. I think he served once before this match, but more or less sitting cold on the bench. It's a little chilly in here on this nice Utah morning, so cold on the bench makes it tough to transition. Russ Holmes hits a float serve that is overpassed by number 11. Mulero, that is uncharacteristic. He's been absolutely on his game, but Metcalf says, thank you, sir. I'm going to give you the easy point. Just throws it straight down. Stingers extend their lead to 10 now. Russ comes back to the line with a float serve. Down the line, handled well. That's a great pass. Goes to the backside, and Jair's had answers all day, but not able to find it there. Ooh, there's the block that we love to see. Ball coming my way, coffee on the floor. We are man down in the booth. But that's a good rotation for the Stingers, and that's gonna put middle blocker number 5, Rafael Burgos, over here on the back line for a serve. Float goes short, handled well by Chandler. Storm goes up. Jair with a huge touch block, making sure that he's over the net with his pits there. And wow, that is 3 balls in a row that the Matadors have just had an incredibly disciplined blocking. Love to see it. Middles are working hard over there. Number 1, Martin Patrice, is absolutely going after it. We've got 23-15. That's a great adjustment by him. No libero back row right now, though, so the Matadors are really hoping that their middle blocker back row is going to be able to find a way to get involved. Chandler once again finding the pass and a dig back-to-back. This man does it all. Going to George once again, finds a swing. They do not have an answer for him. There's a double block going up there, but George Mencia does not care. He goes into the deep corner, and there is no one home to find that dig. Absolutely incredible. I think we're approaching double digits in kills in this game alone. That's at least 8 kills for George Mencia. It's a serve on the back line for the setter now. Leo Durkin goes short in the net. But again, when you build yourself a 10-point lead like that, you can miss that serve. But this is going to put a lot of pressure on Jair Santiago. Once again, it's not about him winning the game right now. It's finding 1 or 2 points, 3 points, get some momentum so that when you're going into Game 5, the Matadors have a little bit of energy back in their game. But there he just misses that ball, sends it long. Not the way to answer back. Final score, that's going to be game 25-15, I believe, is the final there. We're going to 5, so captains are going to go ahead and be called here. And we're going to have a little chat, figure out what sides, well, sides aren't going to change here, but they're going to figure out who's serving and who's receiving. Looking like this match is definitely improving as we go. You could see everyone was a little shaky, a little rusty in the morning, but the more we go on here for Games 3 and Game 4, we are definitely delivering. So you'll love to see it. First match of the event here, going to 5, giving us all a little bit of a treat. But right now, I'm a little concerned if I'm the Matadors, because you've got to find an answer. They were definitely happy to ride the high energy, and when you get answered back with a couple blocks like that, and I think there was about 4 or 5 digs that game that were absolute slams coming from the outsides. And when you've got Phil Fuchs and Storm Fangata Tafunak, wow, I'm butchering that. I'm sorry, Storm. Number 1, Storm, is getting big digs back there. Either way, when you're able to slow an offense down like that, it's really demoralizing. We're seeing subs out on the Matadors. That number 2, Christian Encarnacion, was really not able to do much effectively that game. And so, you know, I'm curious to see if he's going to be coming back in right now. But, you know, it's not looking promising for the Matadors. They're going to have to find a way to fight back into this match. Based on what I'm seeing, though, on the sidelines, looks like they're going to be bringing him right back in, if I'm not mistaken. I'm waiting for an actual lineup here, but I don't blame him. I would give him that little 10-point, get him kind of back in his head, center him a little bit, get everyone brought back in, get him dialed in. Stingers looks like they've got the same guys lining up once again, but right now, George Mencia is absolutely unstoppable. So if you're me, I'm setting that guy the first ball of the match or this set, and we're looking for an easy side out. I want to ride him right into the win of this match. This is a big one. Whoever's able to get this win is going to put themselves in the first win in their pool and definitely one step closer to taking that first place seed here as we progress through the first stage of this event. Now, based on what I'm seeing, it looks like the Matadors are on the service line. Not sure who won that toss, but Matadors are finding themselves on the service line. They're putting their setter back there, number 12. Kevin Rodriguez, definitely quite an impressive serving run that we've seen from him this match. He's gotten a couple aces, so definitely don't blame them there. That sounds like a smart lineup choice. We see that the Stingers have rotated it back one, and what that's going to do is when they side out here, we're going to see their opposite, George Mencia, come in front row. So he's going to actually have as many reps front row as they can give him. You absolutely want to leverage him when a guy's swinging like that. All right, we're going to get right into it here in Game 5. It's a jump serve. Handled well by Chandler. Goes right back to the middle. Wow. Absolute dime of a pass from Chandler Bow. When you get a pass like that, you're saying, thank you, sir. If you're Mr. Durkin, you can go anywhere you want with that. And Metcalf absolutely showing that he's got the range. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Metcalf is actually normally an opposite, but he has been showcasing some middle skills today here while the Stingers are a little short-handed. Once again, Chandler with a great dig. Storm sets to the opposite, and there's a no touch call, so that ball goes long. Just verifying that one there. So we've got a 1-1 match. And once again, though, Chandler is not letting any ball go down easy for the Matadors, and that is just a tough one to battle through as a hitter. We got a short serve coming in. Storm keeps the ball alive. Metcalf steps in, helps it out. Poked over by the libero. High ball goes to the outside. A chop. Ball goes outside to the backside here for Stingers. Number 9 trying to reset. Free ball coming. Wow. Someone really needs to take control of this point, and there it is. Metcalf looks for a big swing. Great touch by the Matadors, and set goes back to the middle for the Matadors. Huge cutback swing from Martin Patrice, number 1. Absolutely showing a huge amount of range. Goes over his shoulder. The no-look cut back into the deep corner. No one is home for the Stingers to find that dig. 20 on the back line. Goes for the float serve. Handled well by Storm. Goes to the outside for George Mencia. Once again, shows he is untouchable. Man, George is really showcasing that he is able to carry this team along the way. This is going to be Storm on the back line, hitting that hybrid we were talking about earlier. If you're joining us live right now, we are in the 5th set of the first match of the NBA Showcase 2020 here in Salt Lake City. We're at the Utah Athletic Center. Beautiful facility. We're so thankful they've had us here this weekend. Wow. That serve hits the net, crawls over, and fortunately, number 12, Kevin Rodriguez, is able to try and find a touch, but that ball goes out the back of the court, cannot control it. Here are the Stingers. A point like that early really helps keep the momentum rolling early. Matador's got to find a way to stop this. Storm with a good serve. Ball goes to the outside. Number 2 with a big swing. Chandler Bow. Perfect pass. Number 9 goes back to Mencia. Big swing. Good dig by the Matadors. Matadors roll it over. Metcalf not having any of it. Looks like they're calling a net on that block by number 17, Mr. Metcalf there. But once again, the Matadors are just not able to find an easy swing. Chandler Bow is absolutely battling with the best of them in the back row right now. In serve receive and in defense, he is not just passing, he is performing perfect passes regularly. And you hate to see that happen. I tell you, he gives a perfect pass, it goes overpass. And you know, that's an error from the Matadors. They swing into the bottom of the net, a little miscommunication about which hand goes for those hitters over there. But point for the Stingers. By no means are the Matadors out of this, but we want to see some good passing from them as maybe reactivate their outsides a little bit, get them involved. But they instead go back to the middle. Huge touch one-on-one by Russ Holmes. Russ with an overpass, though, trying to find something to keep it alive. And that's Phil Fuchs with a big solo touch. And ball goes out. One-on-one. The blockers on the Stingers come up clutch. First off, Russ Holmes gets a touch. Then you see Phil Fuchs saves the overpass. And then George Garcia takes a huge amount of line, forces number 2, Christian Encarnacion, wide. Cannot find a hand. That ball goes long. Unfortunately, Metcalf unable to answer with an effective serve and serves in the net. Number 18, Jacob Vanderbeek, he is slowed down a little bit here with some of the substitutions we've seen the Matadors make that are pulling him off the court. And, you know, in hindsight, I'm not sure that was the right move. He's been an effective rock for that roster to find some people to score some points for him. But he's got a good jump serve right now, handled well by the Stingers. And once again, George Mencia. This is a man on fire. Absolutely unstoppable. If you get a set right now, if you've got to check, wow, if you've got to choose who to set right now and you're Leo Durkin, I don't care where he is. I'm setting number 9 on the court right now. Good float serve, goes short, handled well. Matadors go up, big swing. That is what we want to see. Christian Encarnacion plays like that, get those guys a little fired up. You can see it when it comes together, but they are still not the same lively bunch. Bench is a little quiet, and they're looking for a couple more points like that to help get them fired up, back in their rhythm, and feeling a little bit confident. The float serve goes short. Chandler says, not a problem for me. Serve goes back, or set goes back, just on for number 9, George Mencia, but it's going to take a lot more than one missed swing for me to stop wanting to set that guy. That pass was handled well by the libero for the Stingers. And number 2 is still on the back line for Christian Encarnacion. He has tied the game up here 6-6 though. Matadors are finding a way to get involved, and absolute beautiful set. Coming from the 10-foot line there from Durkin, he finds Russ home open, and Russ knows to swing deep, finds that, and no dig from the Matador side there. Number 6 on the back line, Phil Fuchs, has been putting aggressive jump serves consistently all day, but unfortunately it seems like that is the play-by-play curse. Just as I say it, that serve goes long, and Matadors are putting themselves in a pretty decent spot to take over this match right now. We've got a serving sub coming in, number 10, Daniel Caldante. He saw some play in game 4, and number 17 takes a seat. That's Ismail Alamar. He's missed several serves early on in the match, missing long, so can't blame this sub. That's a good serve, handled well once again, and Storm absolutely blasts the ball. You know, if your serving is not able to get guys out of system, then you're really going to have a tough time. And right now, there's a lot of balls that are finding their way. They are serving number 0, Chandler Bow, and I can't say that I agree with that call for the Matadors. They are absolutely in system on the side of the Stingers, finding kills every which way they look. It's a great pass, though, by the Matadors, looking for their chance to score, and that's a big, high swing from number 1, Martin Patrice. You'll love to see that. Middles answer back. When a team's able to set their middle like that, it means they're passing the ball well, there's an aggressive set from the setter, and Martin Patrice is absolutely making sure that he is still involved in this play, tying the score up at 8-8. We made a full rotation here as a setter for number 12 for the Matadors. He's back on the back line. Phil Fuchs handles the serve well, though. Ball goes to the outside, and Storm with a big swing, handled well. Gets a big pickup by George Mencia, and it's his turn to swing. He's over, but didn't get above the height of the net, so no call is made. Oh, there it is. They call him above the height of the net. Not sure that he was over it there, and that's going to bring the Matadors into a little bit of a lead. And for the first time in 2 games, we're here on the Matador bench finally getting a little confidence. So Stingers need to find a stop here. That's a great blocking move on the right side by the Matadors. They're able to stop Storm there. Big serve once again coming out from number 12, Rodriguez, the setter for the Matadors. Chops it left. Chandler handles it well. Set goes to the outside, and Storm says, not twice. You got me once, but not twice. Love to see that confidence. We're a 9-9 here, and every team has a chance in this one, and no one has quite made the steps to put the nail in the coffin. So definitely a little bit of a nail biter as this gets later in this 5th set here. Pass handled brilliantly by the Matadors, but that is one-on-one, and Metcalf reads the gap ball perfectly, says not today. Shuts it down. That's a point for the Stingers as they take a lead here, 10-9. If I'm the Stingers, I'm avoiding at all costs that libero. I'm making the front row outside pass. But the serve into the bottom of the net is not the answer. So that's going to tie us back up at 10-10. And they're going to have a float serve coming at them from number 20, Zach Perry. Service there, going short. Chandler Bow, once again, perfect in system. Ball goes outside, and no, that is the wrong call. They need to talk about that one. That should be a point for number 9, George Mencia. He puts the ball live over the net. Number 18, Jacob Vanderbeek, was unable to control that. He put that ball into the pin. Perfect. There it goes. All right. Definitely want to see it be a good call. Got players on the Matadors looking for a replay, and guys, that's just not going to happen. I'll be honest. That was a great call by the refs. Worked together, made sure that was a good one. Line judge saw that perfectly. That gives the Stingers a 1-point lead, and Storm's going to be back there. Last time Storm was on the service line, he hit that ball that crawled just barely over the tape and was not able to be handled by the setter on the Matadors. So we're going to see if he's able to find a little bit of energy, because right now the big thing is if the Stingers can find a point on this service run and extend their lead to 2, that's going to be a good place to be when you've got a race to 5 going on right now, as both teams are trying to get to 15. Teams are figuring out some rotations, I think, after that last point there. Refs give the okay, and we've got Storm ready to serve. Storm finds a nice serve. Great pass by the Matadors there in system, and they go for the lob. That's an inside set. Absolutely the kind of set you want to see Christian running, number 2 on the Matadors. He finds a great swing, but he is making sure to let everyone know that he's there to play. Sub goes out, and middle comes back in after the serving sub from number 10 there. Number 17, Ismail Alamar, back into the match. That puts a middle and back row defense, though, as a short float comes in, and Chandler once again handles it perfectly. Tip big, and he attacks. They put their outside, actually, and left back there, but he was still unable to, number 20, Zach Perry, was still unable to come up with that dig. That's a good read by the Stingers there to find that point. I got to disagree with the way the Matadors are serving. They are serving the libero every single ball, and he is passing perfect. Not the way to win this match. And instead, they come back with a float serve that breaks the platform from number 20, Zach Perry. This is opening up that lead the Stingers have been looking for here, and that is a timeout called from the Matadors. They are definitely reeling a little bit, looking for a way to find their way back in here. And Coach Michael Bastida looking for a way to settle his guys down, make sure that they're able to find a little bit of a late game run here, and that they're not done just yet. So definitely, if you're the Stingers right now in that huddle, you're talking about how do we keep this energy high? How do we keep number 9, George Mencia, involved? This guy has been a man on fire, absolutely killing it. Looking for a couple block touches, a big pass, big dig, and then feed number 9. Very, very simple game plan right now, because if it ain't broke, you do not fix it. Matador's got to find a guy, and if I'm on their side right now, I'm looking for a good pass. I'm wanting to go outside to number 2, Christian Encarnacion. Also possible that you're going backside on Jacob Vanderbeek. He's been very effective when he swings down the line, but I think Christian's your go-to here. It's an overpass, though, and Russ Holmes says, no thank you, take it back. That brings us to match point. That's a heck of a serve from Metcalf there, and a little bit of a lapse from the Matadors not being able to find that ball. And the experience from the Stingers looks like it is maybe going to bring them home in this match, but pass goes to a bailout. Vanderbeek tries to take a swing. He finds it. That is the swing the Matadors need to keep them alive in this match. All right, Vanderbeek on the back line. He's been hitting big jump serves all day long, so we're getting into the final closing minutes. Big jump serve. Keeps it live. Handled well by Phil Fuchs. Ball goes backside, number 9. And just like that, game, set, match. Stingers pull out the first match of the event, get a win in 5. And that's a great look for them. That's a big win with a little bit of a short man roster. They acknowledge each other with some waves, some air high fives. But once again, we're trying to be mindful of COVID here, so there is not going to be any formal exchanging. They're going to give a little cheer for the other team and thumbs up or exchange through the net. Right now, Olivia is grabbing a player of the match, and they're going to be setting up on the side, so we're excited to hear from them. But I got to tell you guys, I was a little curious to see how these teams were going to answer back after sets 1 and 2 there. Not quite sure, because things were looking a little shaky. We're seeing a lot of good volleyball, but not quite the reliability and consistency that we were hoping for. And both of these teams were able to find their strides in different games. Game 3 really went Matador's way, and Stingers really answered in 4. And when teams are able to answer like that, that gives you a lot of confidence, and you know that they're going to find a different way to fight. Pretty interesting that it only took 1 sub there from the Stingers. Little change, they put Alex Shmelev on the bench and they grabbed Russ Holmes, but just that little change, a little bit of fire from Russ Holmes, couple blocks, got him started off, and big adjustments that you love to see. Matadors are going to have a little bit of an adjustment here, probably talk about it, but we've got Olivia live with our man of the match. So Olivia, take it away.
Thanks, Nick. George, what an incredible 5-set match decided in the final set. How did you guys put this one away?
Well, we start like a little slow. Then we figure out how to play with, young thing with good energy. Then this is volleyball, you have to keep the same level always.
When you talk about that good energy, it really switched momentum in the. What made the biggest difference?
I start to enjoy the game. We start to enjoy the game. Don't be like thinking about the bad thing. Start to go positive. So that helped us.
You had 8 kills in that 4th set. Where were you finding that success?
I think the team need me. I think I know my job. I have to be better with them. I told the sir, listen, I have to score. We have to keep up. So he said, let's do it. So he's the result.
In that 4th set, some lineup changes on the court as well. How did that inspire you guys?
Yeah, what happened is that, since the beginning, we had some problem with the rotation. Then we start with the rotation, but it was the right one. After we switch, then we figure it out how to be better with that rotation.
Now, long weekend, you're starting with a win. What's the biggest takeaway from today?
The biggest, win the first match. It's very important because we have one down. Now we have the second match, so we have to think about this. But it's like a hard week. We have to have some rest and get back soon.
Yeah, how do you continue this momentum into the second match today?
Have to be positive, always positive. We can have to keep up, never down.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
You guys, thank you.
See you this weekend. Nick?
Awesome insight there. We love to hear that. That's the big thing. It was really interesting to hear Olivia with her takeaway between games. She's talking about how the Matadors are really living and thriving on that energy, and that's going to be an important thing. And, it's funny. I think back to 10 years ago. I'm 18 years old, really learning the game, and something that was so important is learning about how to apply energy, how to be a good teammate. If you're on the bench, if you're on the court, it didn't matter. It was all about finding a way to keep the team momentum rolling, and I love hearing that you've got a variety of players, a multitude of teams, and everyone here is making sure that that is a big part of their team. Right now, a lot of these guys have been doing their best to be in shape and training, but sometimes when the training falters, you need to be able to rely on your teammates and your training and your years of experience, and we're seeing it absolutely coming live there. And George Mencia going off, like we said there, he's got 9 or 8 kills in that 4th set. That is a third of the team points scored by one guy. Anybody that's able to do that is going to be a threat for any team. Definitely an impressive showing from George Mencia. So up next, we're going to be having a match here. I believe it's going to be between the OC Stunners and Southern Exposure. So we're going to be heading over to the National League. And so we're going to be going live here, I think, at about 10:30. So we've got those guys going live at 10:30. They're warming up right now. We're going to be bringing it back about 10 minutes before that match, so you guys can tune in. Now, something different that we're doing from previous streams that we've done with the NBA is we are making sure to do a continuous live stream all day long. So what that means is if you're trying to catch your favorite teams playing, you're looking for matches, just hit the link. Make sure you follow on in. We're going to be live bringing you high-level volleyball. If you catch us between matches, we're going to make sure that you guys know how long until we're live once again. I'm going to be live all day until I'm playing. I will be playing a couple matches later today. So we'll have, I think the BYU play-by-play is going to be here helping us out. He's going to be joining me later on. So we're going to get some different looks on the desk today. And definitely excited for what this first match has delivered, setting the tempo for some high-level play. And we'll be talking about what's coming up next, and very excited. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us.